Whenever you hear this song, whenever you listen to this music every mornings, you know that it is the program Good Morning Liberia. So let me say a pleasant good morning to all of you joining us this morning. Those of you joining us from the 15th Political Subdivision, I would like to say good morning and welcome. Those of you joining us from your marketplaces, those of you joining us from your commercial or private vehicles, I want to say a pleasant good morning and welcome. Again, it is another Monday morning, and it's another morning that we have converged. We have converged to talk about the issues, and these are issues that matters to you, Liberians. So let me say welcome. Let us all come and sit, have a conversation, talk it out, be able to critique the things that we should critique, and be able to commend the things that are commendable, and condemn things that are condemnable. And indeed, Africa needs to be saved from some economic rubbish. This morning, we sit behind these bald-headed microphones in our Cousin studio, bringing you live the program Good Morning Liberia. Tune in. Let us all share the live video on Facebook. Invite a friend to watch. Invite a friend to listen because we're going to have a really magnificent conversation here this morning. And those of you watching us on Facebook, keep sharing the live video. Keep dropping as to where you're following the broadcast from. Drop as to where you're following the broadcast from this morning. Hats up to those of you there in Bunk County. How are you this morning? In politics, it's the only profession. Politics is the only profession where you can lie, you can cheat, you can steal. But at the end of the day, you will still be respected. At the end of the day, these are the people that we hail. These are the politicians that we pay respect to. Although they're lying, some of them, although they are cheating us and they are stealing, but at the end of the day, we have a lot of respect for them. At the end of the day, these are the people that we hail. These are the people that we tell thank you. But mind you, they are the same people who are stealing. My name is Samira Onelai, and of course, I'm Samira Onelai this morning. Wherever you're joining us from, I would like to say welcome. Let us have a conversation together. We're here to disseminate information this morning, and there's a lot on our plate. We also have a guest, but shortly Grace will introduce our guest. Tell us the time that we will be taking him, and we're going to talk politics this morning. Some of the things that will be said here this morning, you might not like it, but it is the hard truth. If we cannot tell you it, we will not be doing good for you, though. We need to talk the hard truth. At times, use the hard words on these people, because if you do not do some of these things, they will not learn. They will not hear. They will continue to do what they are doing. Who told you that they do not know what they are doing? But they are doing these things intentionally. Let me say good morning to you, Grace Williams Joshua.
Good morning, Samira, and good morning to the peace-loving people of Liberia. Okay, I think I need to switch this mic again.
Yeah, I think so. Let's get that done quickly. Yeah, Grace, the Liberian people need to hear you this morning. Definitely, the Liberian people need to hear you this morning. Good morning to your pleasant welcome.
Yeah, good morning to you, Samira, and good morning to the peace-loving people of Liberia and all of those that make it a duty every morning. So wake up from the bed and tune in to Voice of Liberia 104.1 and follow us on Facebook and our local station. It's a pleasure being here to serve you every morning.
That's great. We're hoping that we get joined by Ben Believe Tokpa shortly, so that we all have a conversation this morning. Those of you watching us, keep sharing the live video. Keep inviting a friend to watch or listen as we go about this conversation. Let us do a few acknowledgements, and after the acknowledgements, we come back here with trending issues or housekeeping, as you would like to call it, and afterwards we tell you as to what are our talking points for this morning broadcast. Let's get some acknowledgement. You want to take it from the top so that we get the acknowledgement quickly. This is Joshua Moba Jr. This person says he's watching from Liberia. My brother, we're also doing the show from Liberia too. Yeah. Stephen Yakate, he says, good morning, Voice of Liberia family. Good morning to the peace-loving people of Liberia. I'm following from Cotton Tree District to Lower Margibi County. Please share the live with others. Thank you, Stephen. Harris J. Saki writes, good morning, VOL family. I'm watching you from Kakata City, Margibi County. Thank you for the update every morning. Abdullah Dukle says he's following closely from Monrovia. Daniel Bondo is watching. And of course, he's watching from Swakoko District, Abong County. Stephen Yakate says, good morning to the peaceful citizens of Bohe Town, Bokpa District, Grand Cape Mount County. Western Liberia. I'm Stanley Sharif watching from Brownsville City. Thanks for the update. Ezekiel Yuma Johnson is following from Foya District, Lofa County. Stanley Sharif is still encouraging others to share the broadcast. Vinicius Junior Bar is watching from New Crew Town. To be precise, is that the okay? I know where Vinicius specifically. I know where you were watching from. Vinicius is one of our regular commenters on our live video. Thank you for joining us this morning again, Vinicius. Stanley Sharif, who is also one of our regular followers too, he says, why Gen B and his corrupt officials continue to lie to the Liberian people on a daily basis? My brother, I tell you, that you go, which are debating on, because some of the lies that these people can offer, some of the lies that they can tell the Liberian people, at times you sit and you ask yourself, I even deserve this? I even deserve this kind of lie? But at the end of the day, I will continue to tell you that the Papa said that he brought Billy Goat and he fed the Billy Goat with such till he reached to Liberia. So what do you expect from that kind of person? Emmanuel Magnon is watching from Bangabon County. Thank you for watching. There are a lot of people commenting. And thank you for commenting. Thank you for joining us. Due to time, definitely we cannot have all of the comments. I'm seeing long comments here. There are others watching from our YouTube page. I would like to say thank you for watching this morning. While we're going through, the time is 21 minutes past 7 o'clock. And the cash giveaway is also on this morning. You playing it is your choice, but I urge you to play so that you be a part of the broadcast. Grace, who's our guest for today?
Okay, this morning from 9 to 10, we expected to host a tough talking Councillor Tier 1 Gonglo, former presidential candidate in the 2023 general election. Councillor Gonglo will be here elaborating on the liberalization policy and other national issues like the president's speech, and talking about some national development and how Liberian can be a part of the process. And he will also be telling us the plan he has for Liberia as well. So we'll also be asking him some tough questions and concerning the Brian McGill case and other cases that have been politicized on the other hand from both the Unity Party.
Okay, thank you. Let me say good morning and welcome to you, Ben.
Good morning, Samira. Happy New Week, Happy New Month. Good morning to you, Grace. Happy New Month, and greetings to all of our listeners of tuning. It's good to be on the show today.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for joining. Quickly, we move on to housekeeping. There are a lot of things that have been happening over the weekend, and we will talk about some of these things. We will talk politics this morning. Matter of fact, we're still having some touches on the post sona that I would say. We're still carrying on post sona analysis. So today there are a couple of things that we will say relating to what the president Joe Boagai said, because if I can recall, the Ministry of Information came up with a particular information saying that there was some mistake relating to some specific issues that the president raised. He talked about on the State of the Nation address. So there are a couple of things we're going to talk about this morning, and it will take us up to 9 o'clock. Grace, is it 9 o'clock that we're expecting?
Yeah, we expecting
Councillor Gonglo
from 9 to 10.
Okay, and Councillor Gonglo is a former presidential candidate, right? He ran in this election.
Yeah.
Yes.
Indeed.
So he understands the political landscape, not just the political landscape, but also law. So he will not just be saying things, but you will say things
Yeah, with
that,
facts,
you know,
with facts.
backing it with the laws of our country. Now, let us go into trending issues or housekeeping. Grace, what is trending from your end?
Okay, I have so many things training, but one of them I want to talk about have to do with the current visit of Vice President Jeremiah Kun to Nima County. And during his visit, he went ahead to distribute few items to the chiefs and others which they requested, that is motorbike, clothes, and other few things, and also training. Samira, there are so many things training. When I want to talk about it,
Give it to the Liberian people. Give it to
I don't
them.
want to leave myself out.
Give
Talking
it to
about the
them.
University of Liberia,
Mm.
we expected to put up. Who is expected to put up some graduate, but they have not been finalized. People has their hope high up, waiting, anticipating, checking the e-portal every minute.
The whole e-portal is down. Yes, one of my sources.
It
Yeah.
crashed 3 times during the week, last week, 3 times. And the sad thing about the e-portal is each time it's affected,
Mm.
students lost their grades. Students are not able to access their grades, and some of them platform will just shut down, and nothing will be happening at all. That's the sad part about the whole thing. You already have did some courses, but because of the portal being having issue, you come up and see half of the courses disappearing.
Mm.
And another one is a Bon County Hill Minister Natwa and an agricultural effort, and they are happy that most of the ministers are taking on to agriculture, especially from their end, and putting time to what they believe to be the thing that will change Liberia.
Mm.
And one of the things that really got to my attention this gone week,
Mm.
the particular thing, yes, me and I still understanding. How can a man have sex with a goat?
Yeah, Grace, that whole good thing is something that I'm still a little skeptical about. Why? We got a news here. They said that there was a lady that gave birth to pig. At the end of the day, so when we got the news over the weekend, I was like, it's alleged though. So, at the end of the day, we got to know that it wasn't true that the lady gave birth to pig. But that man, we saw the man sitting there, the goat. And all of that.
And the court even die in the process. They say they caught him doing it. How can I leaving him on? I don't know that the movies we're watching from on Facebook from India, other country. I don't know. What is like broughting into? How can I living man?
Living man. Yeah, I like that.
Man,
not there, man.
God? That thing that when the people say you can't even stay, you having sex with God. So why you expecting the God to give birth to? Human being or good?
Good being.
So these are the training issues I have. The money don't make me laugh, Samra.
Okay, thank you, Ben. I would just be calling you Believe. Let's hear you. What's trending from your end? Hello. Your mark is muted. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Samira. Well, I'm just bothered about the massive homelessness, uh, going on, and I'm also concerned about the bestiality issue. Grace threw light on that. Good issue is a forced on bestiality, where he must have sex, with animal. That's very troubling. I want to speak about that. I also want to but most of the things I have on my issues already enshrined for our discussion. So I'm not going to go further because I don't want to break the protocol.
Definitely. You do not want to do that. You do not want to do that. Yeah, but that is it, Liberians. Welcome. What's trending from our end is this thing wherein there are some lawmakers and they have problem, they have issue with the president State of the Nation address. Like I said, we're still doing post-sonar analysis, so you might hear something about the what the president said on the State of the Nation address. But let us be able to kick the ball rolling with this issue, which has to do with the information minister, Jeremy PR. Now, I'm going to play this clip. You people listen, and then we have a conversation. This is what Jeremy PR said to the Liberian people just the other day. Yes, go ahead.
So until we buy bread, physical loaves of bread, and then butter, then we establish a ministry of bread and butter. Then we have to
start over.
I don't want to be doing this. So until we buy bread, physical loaves of bread, and then butter, then we establish a ministry of bread and butter, then we're having a bread and butter issue. It's one of the considerations I would give to the president. You know, should we establish a ministry of bread and butter?
Let's play it again.
I don't want to be doing this here. So until we buy bread, physical loaves of bread, and then butter, then we establish a ministry of bread and butter, then we're having a bread and butter issue. It's one of the considerations I would give to the president. You know, should we establish a ministry of bread and butter?
Now, this is important to have a conversation around. If it is not, a whole discussion as we usually do, it's important that the Liberian people be able to hear what the Minister of Information had to say to them concerning the bread and butter issue within this
That's the
country.
finance minister,
The
Gaffon.
finance, I'm sorry. That is Augustine Gafuan. I'm sorry. The finance minister, I'm sorry. What he had to say about this whole bread and butter issue. Now, we're going to hear Grace on it. We're going to hear Ben on it. But there are a few things that I have to say to Liberia's finance minister. There are a few things that I have to say to him concerning this whole bread and butter ministry, like he said. This is it. The Liberian people, they are not foolish. I will use the hard word. They are not foolish. When the Liberian people are saying that the bread and butter issue within our country is not being addressed, you know what they're saying. You don't want to deviate from the conversation to make it to look as if to say what the people are saying, like they're seeing reality. At the end of the day, they want to bypass it and say another thing. There have been no government that will say they're going to establish or they will establish a bread and butter ministry because the people are saying that things are not fine within the country. Let me take your minds back. The president said, and he appointed people on a committee to go out, do research, and come back to him and tell him as to what's the cause of the high rate of poverty within our country. It wasn't Grace that set up the committee. It wasn't Ben who set up the committee. I wasn't the one who set up the committee. It was the president who set up that committee. And it was being the committee was being spearheaded by Jeremiah Kumu, who was the VP. So if the bread and butter issue within our country is being addressed, like you're trying to make fun out of the Liberian people to tell them that you're going to establish a bread and butter ministry. If it had been addressed, or if you people are in the process of addressing it, could the president set up the committee for him to be able to know what's the cause of poverty within our country? That's a simple question. If this issue is actually addressed, let us be real. Things are hard. Times are hard. People are suffering. That's the mere truth. I don't know what's wrong with some of these Unity Party folks that when there is a truth, you do not want to accept the fact that this thing it is true. But you want for people to see it from your angle. That is the truth. Finance Minister, Mr. Finance Minister, you're being paid by the Liberian people. You have your stuffs together. I don't care how things are bad in this country. Your salary comes at the end of the month. You and your family, they are surviving. So how is it that you even know whether bread and butter issue is being addressed or not? But it's about time that we stop playing fun out of the Liberian people. It's about time that we stop putting things in the Liberian people's face. Well, we all know that the reality is that people are suffering. The bread and butter issue is not being addressed. The man telling people say flour, the price of flour is 35, it was 35. What do you even got from that statement? There's absolutely nothing about this country when it comes to the rate, when it comes to the price of rice, when it comes to this other, everything is just fluctuating. Nothing is stable. And the people are suffering. Nobody say you should take bread, one full I mean carrying to one hustling, you be baking bread every day for people. That is not what Liberian people are saying. Nobody saying you should open bread and butter ministry. Mr. Finance Minister, that's the least comment we expect from you. That's the least. But let's hear Ben on this, and then we'll take Grace. This is just something for us to start up with, warm up as we get to our next conversation. If you can recall, the president did some groundbreaking the other day, but we will get to that. Let's hear you, Ben.
And Samira, that was a brilliant explanation. You said the business uh, brilliantly. I want to say this. The statement from the Minister of Finance, Tafwan, it comes from the background of failure. The minister had no answer, especially after the president's Sona. There are 70,000 jobs backfired. Even the first people to criticize it were United Partisans. Secondly, uh, the Minister of Information, Joelima Bia, also indicated that there were fraud in the data, which made the president told lies. Lies in his Sona. And so,
Mhm.
with all of those things coming back to back, the Minister of Finance, Gafan had no justification, he had no answer. So Gafan had to be very sarcastic to say, we got to establish, it's like we should establish a ministry of bread and butter who pack loaves of bread and have butter and put in the people. But as a Minister of Finance, you cannot be making
Ben, you're coming in terrible. Your line is so terrible. The people wants to hear you, but you're coming in very bad.
okay, I'll come out and I'll give my point on that subject.
Okay, let's hear Grace while Ben is prepping himself to get back here. Grace, let's hear you.
Okay, like always, I do have a contrary view.
Mm,
Minister Augustine P. Gafwan,
mm,
a son of Liberia who have contributed immensely
mm.
to the well-being of Liberia. Minister Gafwan is one person that I, Grace, believe in so much, and I know he can change the narrative in Liberia. But the thing here is this, Samra, there are some magnitude of fact in what you say.
Mm.
There are expectations. Remember when the government took over, Minister Kane, not Minister Bob, Senator Amara Kane came up and he told us, the Liberian people, that we should limit our expectation. I see most Liberians are not doing that. Most Liberians are so profound to only finding faults.
Oh, we should limit our expectations.
Samra, can I talk?
Go ahead, Grace.
I know this money will be very hard on my
No,
back.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
as
not.
usual. But
I'm
you know, what I'm saying is this: I believe in Amara Gafwan. I know what Gafwan has done over the years for the Liberian people. He's a very great person. He has contributed immensely to the well-being of the Liberian people. But running a country as a finance minister is not an easy thing, Samra. It's a very, very difficult task. I can't be the one to tell you that Augustine Gafwan was the one that wrote the president's speech. No. The fact that he run the day-to-day activities when it comes to the financial aspect of Liberia is enough to put a lot of pressure on him. Very enough. So when he coming from the standpoint saying that, how do you want the government to address the whole bread and butter issue? How? When the government is trying from every angle, for agriculture ministry, the government is trying. From the finance ministry, we trying to create opportunities and jobs. From health, we are trying. From road construction, the government is putting her efforts. Samuel, what else do you want the government to do for you to know they are addressing the bread and butter issue of Liberia? Should there be a ministry before you know? I think that's the standpoint he was coming from. He was just telling the Liberian people, you're not seeing what we're doing? Are you only looking for the negative in what we're doing? The government is giving back. We are trying our best to build Liberia. This is where we met the country. This is where we taking it. Our part of the process before, but we are stuck because the previous government had lapses. The government before this government had lapses. This is what we inherited. How do you want us to fix it when we are putting in our all to education,
Mm.
to healthcare, to price regulation? The president set up a team to make sure to find out where the problem is coming from, why Liberians are not part of the process. So how can you tell me that they are not doing anything? That's the question. Should it be an office that will only be in charge of bread and butter before you know the government is doing her best? Should they?
So to cut law matter short, you're in favor of the statement.
100%. The statement is in place.
Grace, I'm disappointed.
So what do you want me to do?
I'm disappointed. I'm so disappointed.
I'm sorry.
You said few things, and the thing is, Augustine Gavin should know when the Liberian people talk about bread and butter, and he knows. He knows about it, but he's trying to ignore it, and he's being sarcastic, right? Whereas, what do you mean by that? Only food the Liberian people. What you can bring the Western money, you can't wear for money to even put money in your system. You get strength to go to that ballot box to vote.
Now, I say,
You even get strength to go on the field to be able to look for money.
I agree with you in some way.
So let us hear from anything that that only food the Liberian people know. Oh, they bread and butter. What thing will made a person to get strength to do what they're supposed to do if it is not food?
But Samuel, look at the other effort the government.
What kind of effort?
For example, the overhead bridge.
Which one overhead bridge?
The overhead bridge, right to 540, you have not seen it. The road construction from
540. Listen,
to the airport.
540 bridge. The road construction from here to the airport. Is it a government project?
But you said government is continuity. The government is just any what George we have started. The government is only any one he started.
Any one George we have started. So what if they can provide bread and butter for the Liberian people? What a project? That the bread and butter ministry.
Time will come.
What kind of time?
The government is in the interest of the Liberian.
We're in the third
year
already. Third year. But Ben, let's Grace. Ben, I'm so disappointed in Grace this morning. I'm so disappointed, wholeheartedly disappointed. But let's hear you.
I will tell you a few things, Samara. When it comes to the bread and butter issues, those are the low-hanging fruits we're discussing. One, local healthcare delivery in the country. If anybody in the country comfortable with the health care situation in the country, we open up the line, we definitely get the feedback. Bread and butter issues, the job creation in the country. The vice president said that they feel in providing job remains a major challenge. And Joseph Walker mounts the podium and announced that they created 70,000 jobs. So the government is saying if Grace get one motorbike keke running and the government get a job, that's what it clearly indicates. The government is saying the pimping riders, the shoe shine boys who struggling, the government is saying they provided a job for them. That's high level of insincerity. When the bread and butter issues are resolved, it don't high. We all saw one of the major things the government paraded the corridors to say LEC was stable. The very LEC boss was sitting talking while the generator was beating, capital building going up. Do you know how many Liberians are feeling it? No, we can't say overhead bridge are results of bread and butter, overpass bridge construction. No. That project was initiated by the Weah administration. It's been funded by the Chinese government. That's not bread and butter issue. In all fairness, like I said, some related business. The statement from the Minister of Finance is total sarcasm. It was sarcastic. And that statement comes from a background where he knows that they have failed.
Yeah.
You know that they fail. You know, when people, this is the thing with people in position. When title men fail and they have no answers and their failure is clearly revealed to the public, the only thing they do is to give cheek because they're ashamed. I will say this to you since Joseph Walker spoke. At the SONA, that third working Monday, the entire government have lost balance. So to sit there with a clear conscience as a father or as a mother on this platform to say that the way our people are groaning, the thing is not politics. Our people are groaning, things are hard in the country, the government has failed to deliver. And the reason why these things, our people are crying, because this is the government that campaign on the mantra of rescue. Instead of rescue, things continue to deteriorate. By looking at the millions of Liberians and telling them as the Minister of Finance that the government should create bread and butter ministry with not symbolical but literal bread and butter. That is an insult. It's a disgrace. It's an insult. And I think the Liberian people take that very strong. And what we can say, like Senator Nathaniel McGill wrote on his Facebook page, he said, Gafwan and Joseph Boaka, you all don't worry. 2029, the Liberian people themselves will go to the ballot box and go create their bread and butter issue for themselves. So that's why I want to wait. It's too emotional to talk about Samira. This hurts.
Okay, thank you, Ben. It's so disheartening to know that these are the same people who will tell the Liberian people that I can make this happen for you. But at the end of the day, these same people will come right back and start to put things in the Liberian people face. These were the people who said that they could have done it, that we've done it before and we can do it. At the end of the day, look at this kind of statement that is coming up. When somebody said bread and butter, they say you must go put bread down, you should buy full of bread and give it to the Liberian people and share it on them. But who told you that the finance minister is not in the know when a person says the bread and butter issue is not being addressed? He knows,
That's why he's
but he's acting as if to say, like, I don't know what you're talking about.
that's why he said, Tamara,
Mm.
how do you want us to handle this? We have been doing everything the Liberian
What
people
is it
want.
that they have been doing? Let me
But
say it.
I want to call it. I want to learn something from Grace. I want to learn something from my dear sister Grace. I want Grace to point. I want Grace. I want us to do this. We did it the last time on the show. We opened up the lines opinion pool for Koji and others, and Koji won the senatorial pool. We did it for Joshua and Boaka. Joshua won. So I want us to do this. I just want Samara to just flag two bread and butter issues that she can. My gosh, as a journalist, she's doing her work. Let her mention two significant areas that the government had performed in bread and butter issues. Then we'll open up the line. If we can get even two persons to agree and one person disagree, then I will support her analysis on the bread and butter issue. The country is hard. The government failed. We should be very clear. The same measure that was used on previous government, on previous regime, including the immediate past government of His Excellency George Manawia, let us use that, especially for us who have this platform, because the thing about it is we're talking to people who are feeling the direct impact of the government. These are the people we're talking to. We are in February. How many parents are capacitated to pay their children's school fees? Let me tell you this. Anybody, even we elect Samira, we elect Grace, we elect Ben today as president of Liberia, we'll put quota pie will go there. If you go to Japan and tell the Japanese government, say, please, I want your put quota cross the bridge over here. They will can't help you. When you're discussing, they got bilateral, multilateral, international, they will put a quota there. Let me tell you this. Do you know how many overpass bridges? Samira, you been on Nigeria? Do you
Mm-hmm.
know all the states in Nigeria? That thing they call overpower, they want to put 1 to 5 40 area. We clapping
Yeah,
the
yeah,
for. In
yeah.
Nigeria, it all
What kind of
over,
thing?
everywhere the overpower. You go to Ghana, everywhere the overpower,
Go to Senegal.
everywhere.
It's there plenty.
The people living condition, the econ has it changed the status of the struggling masses? Overpower doesn't change it. We're talking about sustainable bread and butter issues.
And and okay. And let us be real. As much as some of the breach that we're talking about, some of these developments, it helps with the country infrastructure and all of these things, right? We see them. But the thing is, I know that there is absolutely no way that the government will be able to, take everybody for poverty. It's not possible.
Thank God you agreeing with me.
No,
so
listen,
okay.
I'm not agreeing with you. Grace, I'm not agreeing with you. I'm disappointed.
Samara,
I'm coming. I'm
we'll
coming.
talk behind the scene anyway.
Everybody knows that. I know. Everybody knows that the government will not take everybody from poverty. But when expectations are high, right? That we will see that, the country, even the great America or other countries, right? You still have people who are living in poverty. But who told you that some of these people they cannot provide, like providing for your household, it should be the least thing. Let us be real, food. It should be the least thing. Because hunger kills. It kills. So if even the government will not help, if this government is doing well when it comes to job creations, we heard the president talking about 70,000 jobs. If that could have just been true in this country, you will not see people suffering like the way they. Grace, do you know how many people beg on a daily basis to be able to sustain themselves? When schools are opening, people are begging. There are people who do not have their kids in school currently because there's no money to send their child or children to school. There are children in the street, they are selling. It's normal, but we see these things in other country. But our country, on this stage, in this age, like, it's just surplus. Nowadays, if you're in your car, you don't even want to put your windshield down. Just how you stop the one red light or the traffic light, I would say. If you stop there, the amount of group that will come there to tell you, say, please give me what it tells you. Yes, at times we'll say, oh, Liberians are lazy. They just want to be begging. But do you think that some of these people, they actually find pleasure in begging? There are children in the streets who are begging. They're supposed to be in school. If opportunities are being created, yes, we will see these things, but not as much as we're seeing them currently. That is my point. Not as much as we're seeing them currently.
Samara,
Not as much as we're seeing them currently. The expectations, they were high because the government told the Liberian people that we can do it. Only for them to come to power and
they are
people,
doing it,
and they said
Samira.
people should lower their expectations.
They are doing it. They are trying their best. I'm not saying there's no issue. I'm not a mouthpiece of the government. I'm just a journalist who is analyzing from another direction. The government is trying her best. Let's give her time. Let's support her in the process.
Okay.
I know that what Kafuan said in some other way may be a little bit bad, but he's only telling you in another form that we are doing what you're requesting us to do. Just see our effort. Just see what we're doing. Samara, I know the Liberian people have needs, they have expectation, they have desire. But the government will not be in every place at every time. The government will not do everything for you. The only thing they can do is to fix the economies for you to have access to be able to take care of your family. Not everybody will work in government. Me, I'm not working in government. I don't have any links with government.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. If the government they're creating opportunities in other private sectors, then everybody will say yes. There are jobs that are designed for Liberians in Aslam Beta, PA Mountain. When they're going to that's the same Liberian Association policy. I mean, but let us go to the lines. We have roughly 7 minutes to 8 o'clock. We have our guests that will take by 9 o'clock. Councillor Gonglo. Let us talk to a few Liberians on what the Finance Minister Augustine Kafuan say. And at 8 o'clock here, we move into our next talking point, which will last for 30 minutes. 8:30, we move into our next talking point again. We will last for 30 minutes because we have a lot on the plate this morning. And we want to try our best to be able to, exhaust them. So we will take 30 minutes in the 8 o'clock to be able to have two conversations. So by 8 o'clock, if we're coming up here with conversation, you should know that after the first conversation, we will not take calls. but rather we will go into the next talking point. And after that, when we're approaching 9 o'clock, we'll take calls, and at 9 we take our guests. The numbers to participate, Liberians, they are 0773 through 0773 419502, 0773 419502, 0555 184711, 0555 184711, 0773 978 564, 0773 978 564, 0880 907 907, 0880 907 907. Sharp 8 o'clock. We will go out of here. You be the president, you call on this line when it is 8 o'clock. We'll not even squeeze you in this morning, because when we keep squeezing people in your body, will keep getting smaller. We don't want to make anybody small. So we'll not squeeze anybody in this morning. This person, yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, Samira. Good morning to the big brother there, and good morning to your I don't know, her name is Grace, eh?
Yes, Grace.
Okay. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning.
Go is a day that we usually allow these kind of things to pass while you're writing a chapter. First of all, I'm a common board chairman and POP Willie. I join you from spoken at the show. Grace and Samira, let's take it like this, step by step. We'll talk about brand mother issues, and we'll talk about creating ministry. Although the final ministry, when you look at it technically, it should be the brand mother ministry. But that's not the issue. Let's go by the data. We talk about the government trying to do brand mother issue. Or let's go to the economy and let's go to what they report. What they reported in 2025 around the December era that job creation left from 100 to 9%. In that same report, they say our extractive industry was growing 15%, but it moved to 11% under this government. In that same report, it is said that the economy was growing by 4.6, but then it moved to 4%. So it remains to be seen where Grace is talking about. Okay, locally, Senator DeLong and the labor minister, who should be one of the main.
Okay, thank you.
We're going back and forth.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my dear brother. Thank you. We have a lot of calls here. Let's make the conversation shorter. If you call in, we will give you less than 1 minute to participate. Good morning. Morning.
Yeah, let me say morning to all police around here. This is the official spokesperson for the Liberian movement, and I join you for Upper Tower. Thank you ever so much to you all for the discussion. And let me say, Liberian people are not cowards. They get measured around Liberian people or say Samara. Yesterday, the people said CC was not doing well, and CC let a good amount of money over for them to operate on. You see, the brand what issue is that you're not employed everybody in the street, you're not employed everybody. Yesterday, for the world, not employed everybody, but you're not taking on the street. People are selling any their money.
Okay.
We're moving right getting their money. So there's the brand what issue. You can't help everybody free. Then you're doing the brand, but why? What are you doing? Nothing you're doing. They're money there for healthcare. For medical. They want 1 million. You can't tell people go to the hospital, no medical, and they're doing brand what issue.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's hear you quickly, Brahma Williams.
Let me say good morning to Grace.
Good morning,
good morning to our other panelists. For the public, this is Bremer Hall about delegation joining from District 13 this morning. So, let me say thanks to you for talking point this morning. Yesterday, you were the same guy that came over here. You said we should pray for this government, we should pray for the country. The bread butter issue is not very settled. How will we get strength to pray? How whether you thought you think we are going to get strength yesterday for us to pray? And then yesterday, you guys told order when you come, they were going to settle the bread butter issue of this country. The president told all that.
Okay.
And then you're in opposition, so we need a bread butter issue to be settled. Thank you for the time.
Thank you for participating. Brahma, we have 2 minutes coming up to 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, we stop all of the calls and go into our next talking point. Good morning.
Morning, Samara.
Edmond Carr, let's hear you.
Thank you. And I'm Edmond Carr, the visual intended are pushing for the return of President. We are 2029. You know, Gafwan is now a serious manner finance minister. If you look at Gafwan history, when he hit the country, he came up with serious pronouncements that did not come to realization. Gafwan said, nobody is going to make below 150.
Yeah.
When he and his president went to Lofa County, and appointed officials stood in the face of the president and told him that Mr. President, I'm making $64. Gafwan was to be suspended. Okay? So a finance minister cannot be there that just speak loosely. He unable to resolve the economic issue in the country.
Okay.
This is why I have always referred to him as a bad boy to tour, because he has failed to solve the economic issue in the country, to tell us that he's going to open bread and butter ministry. That means he lacks the ability. He don't understand what to talk about bread and butter issue.
Thank you.
Why he spoke the way he spoke, but anyway, he's speaking out of frustration. He's frustrated.
Thank you. Morning. Morning. Quickly, let's hear you, brother.
Okay, this is Peter Star. If Liberia was a Syria country, the Minister of Finance will be going, because the prime border issue is handled by the economy of a country.
Yeah.
And the economic management team, the head of that team, I know for sure that it is the finance minister. So if a finance minister will tell that they can create extra prime border ministry, that means he has failed like people. That means he has to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Morning. This is the last person. Morning.
Yeah, good morning, Samira.
Let's hear you quickly.
I'm Ibrahim, calling from Borova Junction. No, Samira, the thing for us, like in the street, we're seeing the job that the government is getting to the youth in a lot of the entire country. The job is keke riding, motorbike riding, and making all people to be homeless. Just a few weeks ago, some of the second 1,000 on Liberia have been homeless today. Someone that we are carrying a loan, the couple tapping down in a swamp, get to go sleep. So these are some of the jobs. You shouldn't deny the man. That's the job there. Because they get two types of jobs. They get a negative and a positive job. That's the negative job the man is getting to the Liberia. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, my dear brother. We still have people placing in their calls. I'm sorry, we still have people placing in their calls, but we have to stick to this. Okay, really, it's time. So we will not take any of your calls. Please do not call for now. We will take your calls shortly after we have exhausted about roughly 45 minutes from now. Okay, but Grace, let us go into our next talking point. Tell the library people what I'm going to talk about. Tell them, let them hear you out, Grace.
I don't know why you want me to be the first on this.
No, but you have to tell the library. You have to introduce it. Let's get Ben on, please.
Yeah, I think Ben should be the one to either.
No.
Sorry, bro. You're trying to hold me with my. I'm
not trying to hold you. I'm not trying to hold you, Grace. I'm not trying to hold you. We just want to get, but let's go into our next talking point. Ben, Grace said that she don't want to introduce the talking point. You tell the library
about the demolition there, right?
What's our next talking point? From there, the next talking point, I will introduce it.
Okay,
let me go ahead. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay, Ben.
Talking point. Okay, Ben, go ahead.
No, I was saying my laptop is off, so just
Yeah, the talking point here has to do with the demolition in Cinco, connecting to that of former President Weah. There's a lady in the video. I don't know if Secret could play that video a little bit from.
You wanna resend it in?
Yeah, it's there. It's already there in the chat room. There's a lady here talking.
Okay.
The story is so sad from this demolition. I talk sometimes. I support the government sometimes, but sometimes there are some things the government do that they don't take into account the well-being of its citizens. So it's somehow worrisome. I want us to listen to that lady a little bit. The lady nearly cry. Yes, in fact, she was crying. Samira, this story is so devastating. Let's listen to her a little bit.
Yeah. So we're
while we're
trying.
expecting her, let me be talking. Okay,
Grace
you don't understand, Grace. If you follow me for the 2023 election on the show, Samara know me too well.
I don't know you anymore.
You don't know me anymore, yeah, because sometimes I shock you, right? But the fact here is your citizen interest should be your number one priority. Ben, Whatever government that will succeed, that will have the support of its citizen, will make sure to put the interest of its citizen first. Since the government is saying, I agree we want development. Development come with a cost. I agree. There are sacrifices that need to be made. But the differences between this government and that of Ellie Johnson Sirleaf and former President Weah, they took the well-being of citizens into account. I don't care how desperate they want that particular project to be done or who brought that case to court. Once Liberian was involved, they took their time to handle that issue. Even former President Charles Taylor. These people you see in the street from Hotel Africa, these people you see in the street from Catholic Junction, these people you see in the street from Dallas or 72nd, they are Liberian. But let's listen to them later. I'm ready.
They be here the morning. So the property our parents buy for us. Since the 80s, every number, I mistaken yesterday, every number use the government of Liberia because he have money. He paid them yesterday. They keep with fake documents and they tormented us. They put under pressure and tension on our hair and they broke the place yesterday. And this morning he calling people to come and put their name down. Saying because we're going to ask stubborn that why he came yesterday with authority to break the place down. So tell me, is it a country we in or where are we? It is a country that anybody can use. Any law enforcement officer gave them money and said go and do this. People say that from the court, they came with fake documents. You came as sheriff from the court. You now even came with the court ruling. But you only came to implement. You say you keep to implement because we don't have money. You think money now out to end, so there will be no justice in Liberia because every Johnson got money, every Namgabi he got money, so you can just take anybody from anywhere at any time. Instead of Liberia we find ourselves in every Nambe. Is that how you are? That you must be there. You just came yesterday morning on news to everybody and you start breaking our places down. And now you coming in telling people say they should come and write their name because the people are going to ask someone yesterday. Let me hear my three children. Let my daughter sitting here. Let my son recalling me. My son in Jeddah. He is 12 grade. He's supposed to buy from school this year. I'm a single parent. I'm telling you. I pay my son school from day one up to present. How you expect me to survive?
Thank you. You see, that is where Grace becomes very sarcastic because I'm an advocate. I don't care how it be. No politician is important than the people. This is the time that the government realized that there is no development without the consent of the people. If a case go to court and it's proving that maybe the place belongs to XYZ person, the government should take into account that those people the inhabitants in that particular environment are Liberian. Somebody getting my point? They are Liberian. Whether they wrong for sitting on that land, for squatting on that land, whether they don't have anything, there should be the issue the government should be looking at. That's a single mother with 3 children. Her only source of income, she have a shop in her house now she was renting to take care of her children. Now you broke it down without even compensating her. Where do you expect her to go with her children? How do you expect her to survive? Look at the issue for Hotel Africa. I know the government gave me a letter to address few of the people grievances. But how long will you continue doing this? 72nd barrack that happened down there for years in and out. You wanted the barrack. I know you have been carrying communication. But did you settle those people and find a due allocation for them? These are Liberian for God's sake. Let's forget about that. Keller Junction, you know how many people got homeless? Now President Weah and Clara Hope Foundation have to be the one to step in. Yesterday we heard that he's providing housing for these people. You are giving the same person. Let me tell you. Good.
We have housing for them.
Yeah, Clara Hope Foundation came in yesterday. I sent the link in the chat room. They're trying to find solution to provide housing for them. And she even said that if the issue with her foundation was not at stake, they would have even carried all of them. I think they are finding solution. I just sent the link in the chat room. The fact here is I am not praising anybody. I talk what I believe to be true. This government is the Liberian people government. The Liberian people voted for you, man. Do you feel looking at mothers in the street? They don't have place to go and stay. This should be the paramount concern of the government to see that people are well taken care of. Samira, I'm so frustrated this morning. These are things that break me down as an advocate. I hate to see people in desperate need. There should be no form of discrimination when the person don't have money. If Samira, there's a system in Liberia. If you have the zero, right? You have the zero, you have your land. Somebody sitting on that zero money, your property. And before you break that zero down, when you pay your horse, you can settle that person. Let's say, for instance, people was starting Eric Nangwe property. Eric, you keep to break that place down. Did you take into consideration that there were mothers in that place, there were children, there were people that were not prepared? You left their goods, everything in the home, and you broke it down. That is wickedness. I would say that is wickedness.
Okay, Ben, you have something to say on this? Let's hear you.
I will not scapegoat on that issue. Philo is a businessman. Aaron Nangwe, he's a veteran in the tax business in Liberia. And Eric Philo Nangwe is not responsible. Let me tell you this. During the administration of President Weah and Akaras Gray as representative of the district, the demolition of homes in that vicinity came out. And Mr. Philo Nangwe, I'm told, purchased or paid for the property. What did the government of His Excellency George Weah do? President Weah ensured that his government met with both parties to be able to forge a way forward that will protect both Mr. Nangbe and the residents of that community. And because of that responsible, people-centered governance approach, people in that area were not made homeless, their properties were not demolished. Did you hear the lady Kingsley speaking? The lady said even their representative, Prince Tro, did not make a single intervention. And this is not the first of its kind. So let me tell you, the quote unquote, for the sake of the conversation, are you telling us that 6 years ago, under George Weah, the Catholic Junction property owner were not alive? Those that are in the District 8, in Prince Tro's district, is it that they weren't alive? Why all of these things are only happening under Joseph Yoman Boaken? Let me tell you this. That lady said everything. The government had the ability to step in first of all to say, because those people didn't just jump there. As a matter of fact, for the matter of fact that they inhabited the land for a long period of time, they developed the place, they spend money. Some of them have legal documents. You have to do what we call a resettlement of the people. That is what the government is for. The government should be for the people. But in contrast, the lawmaker, Prince Tro, said nothing about it. Joseph Barker said nothing about it. And all of these things happen on camera, one after another. Catholic Junction, now the Satan or District 8 area, people are being made homeless. I want to say some of us, we knew this from the very beginning. We knew that Joseph Waka would do nothing. We knew that the rescue mantra was a mirage. It's fake. It's not going to change anything. And we know everything that is happening is something that was well calculated by this insensitive regime. So what I want to say here is thanks to President Weah, thanks to His Excellency George Manuel Weah and his wife Manakla Mary Weah, who intervened to ensure that the people are given a place to reside until things are okay. I want to say thanks to President Weah, but this comes as no surprise. Liberians, shine your eyes. Let this be a wake-up call. You elected people for 6 years who are doing nothing but to make your condition worse. So let's learn from this. We wish you well, and thanks to the president. We are the real president of the country who have intervened, and we're going to show you that more relief will come from President. We have more relief will come from the CDC, and the bigger relief will come 2029 when the CDC is re-elected and George will come back to the mansion.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Thank you, Grace. This whole issue about the land thing, about people who they are so called the money people in our country, people who are in higher ranks, the issue about these people treating other Liberians as if to say they're not even human beings. It is something that it is not a today thing. This is something that we have struggled with. This is something that we've talked about. As much as you have a little money, you have it going on, that doesn't mean that you just take advantage of other people. Some of the advantages that some of the people can take on Liberians in this country, if you hear and know about them, you will feel so nasty. Let me tell you, I listened to that lady and I heard the way she talked. You know that she's hurt. When a person is hurt, when they're speaking, you know that that person is hurt, and it hurts to the bone that you will sit there and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
That's the frustrating part. Have you ever been in a situation wherein you know that this is it, this is not supposed to go like this, but at the end of the day, you can't do anything about it. So you're just these things. It causes death.
Telling you, oh, you're not easy.
If you have been hurt before, you know that you know what I'm talking about. It causes death because, like, you be like, I wish,
I'm feeling for her.
and you left somebody homeless, no home. The issue started to the Catholic Church there. At the end of the day, Catholic Church own people. Oh, that is one. The people there, they can do this, they can do this, they can do that. But there are certain things that if even you want to do, you should do it the right way. When former president Weah wanted to put the is it not the PHP but the
The invisible part.
invisible over there. But then, was it that development? It was development. He could
It
have
was. It
broken,
was.
he could have broken down homes and he just built the place. Like, I'm trying to develop the country. I don't care whether I want to develop this list. He could have just broken that, but he knows that he has that Himalayan heart. He knows that these people they have nowhere
Not
to go.
Liberian, though.
So instead of breaking it down and letting them go, let me be able to beautify it for them.
I'm telling
So they
you,
stay
man.
here. That kind of a people, and you think their church we have been here, they will play with it. Somebody will put shelter over you. At times there are simple things in life. If even you want to break the place down, or you get because according to the lady, there's no the poor people did not come with the rifle talking about blah blah blah. There
Okay.
should be the rifle thing done. And
Samira,
at
I
the
got an
end,
information. Somebody just shared an information with me. An employee of Mr. Nangbe firm. The
mm,
guy name is Jacob Sui. So Jacob said quickly, Jacob said Mr. Nangbe paid for the property and the government of Liberia is fully aware because the property have a front view access. And with
yeah,
Mr. Nangbe pay, there is a certain amount of tax you deposit to the government for front view and the government do all of the feasibility, they do all of the analysis and they give you the go ahead. So Mr.
mm,
Nangbe paid for the property. He got the deed from the government of Liberia. The government of Liberia conducted a survey. The government of Liberia said the land is available and sold it to Mr. Nangbe. And Mr. Nangbe is paying to LRA and all relevant tax for the property. So what
okay,
Sui has said, Eric Nangbe is a businessman legally operating in Liberia. He did not go against the people. It is the court that issued the eviction notice. So what should have happened there? Joseph Human Boaka should have worked with the district representative if they really love the people to say, okay, this property is legally owned by this party. And so since you people have some level, we will do settlement. But the government of Liberia did not do any settlement. So like
and yeah,
what Jacob Sui have said, it backs your analysis and on the invisible back thing. Because
yeah,
even the CDC headquarters, and I agree with Jacob Sui, an employee of Mr. Aaron Nangbe, because even the CDC headquarters, when the land was purchased, the construction committee had to pay money to government for the front view because you don't buy land that have front view as I paying money to government. Then the
yeah.
government will go to feasibility study and identify what kind of project can go there. So government get loan eating on those projects that are especially projects in the city limits of the country. So
Okay,
Eric,
Ben,
so I'm coming now. according to Jacob Sui, Eric legally acquired the property and he paid all of the tax that's supposed to be paid to government, and the government is fully aware. And they give the eviction order. It's not Eric private security, it's the government of Liberia. They went
Yeah,
there, the police went there and evicted the people. So the issue here now is the government knowing this thing. It says it's a human interest story. The government should have worked with Mr. Nangbe and said, okay, these people are occupying the land, they have the issue. These are our citizens. So since you pay for your property and you want to develop your property, let's go into this. Why
Let's
should it
settle
be the
them.
former government? Grace, I'm coming
fair,
somewhere. It had to take
fair.
the former government, the former president George Weah and his wife to say, let's shelter these people. No. In fact, Prince Toh, who is the representative, should come on the table. I'm proud of President. Do I support President Cooper? No. But do you know what I respect her for? When I saw President Cooper moving District 5 and said she's appealing to the Ministry of National Defense for the people at the 72nd Barracks. Whether it works or not, but she made an intervention. Had
That's what I
Prince
want to
Toh
tell
come
you.
up publicly.
Yes,
That's the
Prince Toh
issue.
came up with $3 million Liberian dollars, which is not sufficient. Which is not sufficient. My point here is this: Eric Nangwe still have a role to play. Despite the government failure to recognize that these people are Liberian and they blunder, Eric is a Liberian. He should also take into account that he will want something for people one day. Breaking people homes bed is not easy. What's a fire disaster?
Huh.
It's not something you work, you labor for. The government blunder, we know. They did not take those people into account before they gave the court order for demolition. The government messed up, we agree. But Eric is also a son of the soil, and he should take into account that these people are mothers.
So,
They
It's
are
the
so
government,
people.
not
you
Eric. It's
know
not
how
Eric's responsibility, it's the government.
Apart. Why I say later on he came back to tell the people to put their name down? Because he now came to a conscience that he made a mistake.
so Grace,
No.
you know how it is. It's like this, right? I'm here, and then I go to the government. The government gave me the go ahead, purchase this place, doing all of the things that I am to do. At the end of the day, probably I go and sit with these people, tell them that, oh, I'm supposed to get this place and blah 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 blah. Obviously, it's obvious there will be refusal. That person when I want to leave the place, it's obvious. Maybe I'm just for this case, let's just take it in that context, right? And then I go and say to these people, oh, everyone inside of them, oh, I'm about to take the place. It's obvious. Nobody want to leave that place. And they say, no, we're moving. And blah blah blah. You know, land disputing how it can be like, oh, we're moving. Knowing for the way that Eric knows that he has the rightful paper, he has the rightful authority that this property is for me. For me, I mean, the government has given him that, presumably and all of that. Eric got no option. Maybe everyone uses his place, but legally it's for him.
I
So he
agree.
said, all right, let me break the place
But
down.
Samra, you can do it. You are sitting here. You
So
can never do
coming
it.
back, I'm coming back to talk to them and tell them, say, right, Nina. That when you doing that, all the sympathy.
But the thing about the TV we're talking about, you are here.
So
Samra,
what
you
if the
do it.
people couldn't leave the place? How you could have gotten them from there?
But you know the people occupy the space. Let's get a fact here. If the government just giving this place to Eric, the government should know that these people have been existing to that place all the while before they gave the place to Eric.
It's the same thing I've been saying.
wrong.
So it's the government that's supposed to do the settlement. The government should come
be
in
a
and do it.
humanitarian. Sorry for
No,
those people,
so
Samra.
I would say this, Samara, quickly. I would say this, Samara Grace. Let me weigh in on this. On this show, I want to publicly acknowledge and thank Mr. Eric Nangbe. You know, I
Alright.
thank Mr. Nangbe. Eric Philip Nangbe is a decent businessman, and I want to thank him for his engagement. You know, let me say this to you. It is not Eric's responsibility to shelter those people. I'm coming from somewhere, and we can get this, especially for you, Grace. It is not Eric's responsibility. I'm coming. No, I'm not changing your view. I'm not changing your view. We're panelists now. I'm just trying to speak to your point. We can cross examine. Yeah, I'm not changing your view. What I'm saying, Eric Nangbe is a decent man, and I commend Eric for coming back to the people and say, okay, let's get your name and let me see personally what I can do. That is what the government should do. Let me tell you when citizens come in. Do you know when people decide say, okay, they play, I'll go buy my own transformer and put light in the community. I'll buy my own pole and put my own generator and put some fluorescent bulbs. It happened because people call, the government ain't coming in to provide light. So somebody say in the community, okay, I will do it. So well-meaning people come in when government fail to provide certain service. So Eric, being the property owner, after it's been demolished, he listened to the cry of the people. So he come back and say, "Let me first assistant. The 3 million you're talking about, the guy or Prince to gave to the people of district of his district 8. Do you know how much 3 million Liberian dollar is? 3 million Liberian dollar is less than 50,000 US dollars. How can I sustain the people of district number 8 in totality? Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic here. On a most serious note, Eric Nangbe did extremely well by going back to communicate with his people. If Joseph Barker was the time he wanted vote or Princeton seeking vote, they would have stand tall. Had it been a Carlos girl or somebody else in that district, they would have spoken, they would have said the words. They would have said it's the government responsibility. Let me say this to you. Let us be able to hold our government accountable where it falls short. Why you think those people are not crying on Eric Nangme? Why are they crying on Joseph Barker? Why are they crying on Princeton? Listen to the woman's narrative. Eric is a businessman like any other person who want to get a property and develop it. Eric is paying tax to the government. So the government only that has collect the man money, collect the tax, but they care about the citizens, those women and children, the single mothers who are occupants of the property. So all Joseph Barker and Princeton they care for is to collect the businessman money, Eric. Eric is a Liberian businessman. In fact, that's why he's very compassionate. Had it been other national, that's why we say Liberianization is good, is a Liberian businessman because he is a Liberian and know that his government messed up. So he want to provide some help. If it was some Lebanese man, they won't care. So what will you do to a Lebanese man? The man will just move ahead. So Joseph Barker, the United Party government, and Princeton, they are responsible. They acted wicked. The government is heartless. You don't treat people like that. You don't treat people like animals. That is
Eric
totally
is
wrong, and we condemn them. So Mr. Nangwe
Okay.
is not wrong.
Mama Samurai can never be like
Thank
Eric.
you.
She came to it. So for that, I'm saying the government is wrong. Eric is wrong. Clinton is worse. All of them. You don't take into account what it means to be mother of Philip Samurai. You know what I'm talking about.
So Grace, I know what you're talking about.
Simple.
But that one has to do with legal, right? Legality, right? It has to do with
Why you not just walk away?
the reason why he came by is based on sympathy.
He's supposed to
He
have
painted there that the reason why he came by.
sympathy before he broke their homes.
The man won't do a thing with land. The government
Okay.
getting the responsibility already say for you.
My mind is okay because I know people around me can never be like that, so I'm relaxed.
There are certain people you're not worried about. I mean, you know the people from anywhere.
But he's supposed to accept the land before he go broke that. He go there to check that what the property about. People
The government gave the man the thing.
the government, please so. They are all the major problem of Nigeria. I tell you, you finish having the people who like the people all that things being the place they spoil already. And you're talking that even if you have found place for them, they will move their things. Some people be like that. You not like that.
So that's not his responsibility to find place for them.
Okay, even if
That's the thing.
Then why he had a conscience to come back to say, okay, the thing I
He's tapeting.
okay, he
That's
shouldn't
it,
say
he pitted them.
president we are him in.
He's pitying them.
This kind of a thing
So-
not
so
happening in
There
Nigeria.
are certain things, Grace, like it's legal, right? It's legal. Like that's not that man prerogative as to where the people will go, where they will not go, who will do that. It's none of his
If
business.
he is a Christian, he will come to the statement and say,
That's why you gotta do it, Christian.
take for justice for mercy. I'm not saying he wrong for breaking his place. No,
Uh-huh.
that's not my point. That's his name.
Uh-huh.
He can do it and shop it in his suki. I don't care. But the fact with me, these people are Liberian.
I like that.
he broke
I
their
like that.
homes.
I like that. I like
And they are
that.
thieves with me in our home and he destroyed it. These are the things I'm saying. He or the government, all of them should take their land and swallow the land because that land, you see, that it seems like people give them the power to do what they're doing to them. That woman is devastating.
Yes, I know that you pity the lady, but I mean, it's not a man prerogative as to where that man will go.
And
The woman, whether the woman sewing change around or sewing 12 million, like she's saying, that is business.
no problem.
It's way.
He have family around. He shouldn't. Let me tell you something. I thank God, like I said, man, Sekou Sheriff I know can never be like that man, Eric. You can never, man, because the fact here is humanity come first. UN will tell you, all international NGOs will tell you, humanity come from people where
So Grace, they're different.
in case people have left
Right?
their home and broken and killed them.
They're different, right? Grace, the man needed his property.
Now he
Yeah,
take the property now.
he should stuff it.
Now I think he put it in a suitcase.
Okay. Thank you, Father, like Grace. I love
But
it.
Eric has help. That's why Eric went by and help. Eric's a good man.
I love this. I
You
really
said that
love
sitting
this.
there believe you can never be like Eric. You will leave people in whom they have things, they are food on the fire, they are fools in shop and break it down. Eric, Ben, you can't be like that. So
You want to come and me to support your debate? You want to come and me to support your debate?
I don't know President Baka.
Her goose was there to break it down.
She said even her son came from school. The boy was sitting in front of the house. The police arrested him, put him in jail. They have to free after some hours. These are the things I'm talking about.
But maybe the man didn't know that the goose was there
Yeah,
too.
then you go investigate now. Hey, all right, the thing happened. Then you go keep it there.
Okay.
You must swallow it and carry what
I love it. I love that, Chris. I don't know. I love that. But anyways, let us be able to move on quickly. Like we said, we will not take calls on this. Write it down. If you have whatever you want to say to this, jot it down. And once we get through, we will go into the course and whatever. So we will have another conversation here that will take us up to 8:45, 8:50. Then maybe we'll just take a few calls while we await our guests. Okay. Now, Ben, Grace,
Yeah.
there is this post that followed it. I usually say follow McGill. He did on his page, and it's important that we talk about it. Let me tell you something. You see, my like break people, the thing we be talking on the radio. Let me break it down for you. Oh, the government do anything. What's the government project? Guess what? Waka is trying to create his project. He's trying to, leave out his legacy. Like, this thing is too much. Why the first get children with the first get men and women will just be asking me, what are you not doing like people? What are you not doing? I say, I'm coming for you. I saw the paper we show the other day. Let me read Follow Magio post first. Follow Magio posted this. He said, we witnessed the groundbreaking of the Ministry of Justice complex by the president. The president of the Republic of Liberia did a groundbreaking ceremony. Now, Natalia McGill is a representative. A senator. I'm sorry. A senator. Why do you even want to limit the man? I'm sorry. You are a senator. A very good senator for the people, by the way. So he said, while we welcome this important initiative, we are, however, concerned about the following. One, who is funding the project? Two, if it is funded by the government, when was the US dollars 20 million approved? And has a contractor been approved? Where is the design? Or is the groundbreaking being conducted by before the approval of the building budget and design? Can we put this on the page so that others be reading it? I think it's okay that we do that. Yeah, let the people be saying it, because these questions are important questions, and these are things that we should be able to pay attention to. At the end of the day, if you cannot pay attention to these little things, the people will blunder. That's the same way how they started the FOIA project. Then nobody got to know about it. Nobody knew as to what was going on there until they completed it. Where they got the money from, who funded the project. Up to now, there's a whole Hulu Bible story around our whole FOIA project. Nobody get the real story. So these are questions. And a lawmaker, he's asking these questions. It should be addressed, because these are the people that will be signing. These are the people that will be making approval of setting money. Blah blah blah. So if he started, let me start it over. He said, we witnessed the groundbreaking of the Ministry of Justice complex by the president. While we welcome this important initiative, we are, however, concerned about the following. One, Who is funding the project? Who is funding the project? We want to know. Is it a government initiative? If it is a government funded project, when was the US dollars 20 million being approved? And has the contractor been approved? That's a question. Where is the design? Or is the groundbreaking being conducted before the approval of the building budget and design? So you will do the groundbreaking before you go into the budget, before you do the design? 3, is the project being implemented with 100% grant or donor funding that does not require legislative approval? Mind you, the yellow machine, it was a very old friend. He got a lot of friends. At the end of the day, these representatives have to sign. Now, he said, my concern is derived from 2 controversial projects. They say when sitting down by you before if you see later, you will run. The procurement of the 285 yellow machines I just mentioned. Buluwala and the US dollar 10 million FOIA project. He said that on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, which will be the 3rd of February, he will place a letter on the floor demanding the appearance of the Minister of Justice before the Senate to provide a detailed explanation of this project. Transparency and accountability must not be compromised. And get it all. Now, let me say a big thank you to the senator of Margibi County, Fallow Magio, for raising such concern at this early point. Because at times, coming from that bent, then we'll take grace. That's how we're going to do it. I'm going to be the first today.
I like it because
because at times, we Liberians, we so care about development that we even want to ask questions. When we see somebody doing groundbreaking, then we happy with jumping all over the place. As old as we are, we still celebrating LEC. People shouting as old as we are. So we want to see this as much as we want for the government to deliver, as much as we're asking the government, what are some of the things you're doing for the Liberian people? As much as we're putting their feet to the fire, we're asking them, what are some of your projects? Have you done groundbreaking? If you people can recall Liberians, that's the reason why I always say that these people listen to this platform. Do you know how many days we talk about the groundbreaking ceremony, to talk about project from the Bwaka's government? Benny, you're here. Grace, you're here. Second, how we started to ask them, what are your projects? We started to tell them that it's not like we're saying this project is our project or is the other person's project. But since you came and you started to govern this country, what kind of groundbreaking you have done? We even folk and say, what up you can dedicate. What are some of your dedications? You're dedicating project from the past government. What are these things that we're looking at? What are your projects? We said it. Now, boom, there's a project on ground. There is a project on ground. The Justice Ministry is about to be built. The complex is about to be built. Oh, Liberians under that video that day. Oh, thank you, Mr. President. Let us pass that stage. Let me tell you people something. Some of these things that you people are doing, not money from their pocket they're doing it with. Or we paying the people that get money to take from their pocket to go construct a building or put road down for people. It is not their personal money. It is your money. It's the Liberian people money. When donors will come in, if it is a donor funding project, it is for you Liberians. So these are not things that we should be hailing. As much as we appreciate it, but we should not be jumping all over the place here. Now, the president put it in now. We can't build this thing yet. But these are sensitive questions that are being asked by the senator. These are things that we Liberians should take into consideration. Let us to know that the public project you come into, let the public know how this project is going with transparency, accountability. People should account for their actions. People should be transparent. If this project is a government project, you say it. If a donor project, you say it. How under this earth that we don't know as if there's even a budget for this project, but yet and still the president went on and did a groundbreaking ceremony. Where the money coming from for the project? Why you won't be twisting and turning our heads around like this? Why you won't do that? So you will not tell us what you're doing Sunday? Y'all check come. That is same thing they do with the whole 285 yellow machine where there was no procurement process, nothing. PPCC had nothing to do with it. At the end of the day, it went back to the legislature. So you will be signing the project and the budget, you will be signing it all on the cover. It should be clear. You stealing. Tell the library people, we got this fund. We're doing this project. We already have the design. We have this. If you people can be posting popcorn picture on the executive mansion page, you're able to remind us or tell us about these things. You can post popcorn picture on the executive mansion page. You're able to tell us a project. There's a project that there's so you're able to be accountable. You chin waka picture on the executive mansion page every day as if to say you're doing beauty passion there. So you're able the things that you people have to do, the thing that you're supposed to do on the page, you ain't doing it there. You're doing it as if to say that secret part you're doing. You're running the government as if to say that secret party you're running. But I have a much to say. I have a lot to say on this. Let me give Ben the time. A lot to say on this. Ben says something. Grace, we gotta know what Grace says when I won't say something. So Ben says something, that Grace says something. I'll get back and say something again. I can take all of the time on this. I have a lot to say. Let's hear you out, Ben.
Well, the hard questions were been asked by Senator McGill of Maggie B. I want to say thank you, Senator McGill. You continue to make counter proud. You know, for people who have had the privilege, like myself, to move around and see some things, we're not carried away by those kind of low-level, petty grandstanding from Boaka. First of all, the hard questions about the procurement process, the architectural plan of the building, the budgetary allocations, and all of that. Those are hard questions, like the yellow machines we asked about. Did it follow idea contractors? First of all, before you ground break for any project, the beginning or the commencement of the project has to do with it's called the basic the construction program called, I think they say, the mobilization or the organization of the material. They got a name for it. So before you can organize or mobilize for that one, you have to get everything in place. The engineers or whoever you contracted to do the project, they have to be in place. And there should be a competitive building process. Now, like what Bwaga told Joe Moluba, his relative, to build his 10 million mansion. This one for government, it has to go through the PPCC competitive building project. Now, we didn't see any account where there was an open bidding process where people participated and won the bidding to do the work, who got the contract. Now, if the government library is funding this project, as Bwaka has insinuated, McGill made it very clear that there has been no proof, no legislation about that. And with all of these things said, it continues to create more concern, it continues to create more exposure about the lack of transparency and accountability on the part of Mr. Bwaka and his rescue cartel. Another thing I want to throw light on is we also gather information that justice complex is the idea of former Liberian President Samuel Kanyando. That project is the idea of former Liberian President Samuel Kanyando. Former District A Representative Honorable Akara Moses Gray did a post about that and said the project Justice Complex was those ideas. So first of all, that's not a new project. That is Samuel Kanyando's project. It is his vision. It is his idea. And second, there is no transparent bidding process on awarding the contract and where the money is coming from, any allocation. So we want to say kudos to Senator McGill. His write-up explained it very clear, and I will stay in the confines of that write-up. And we want to hear what the Justice Ministry will have to say in the coming days, especially when the communication of the senator is honored.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Grace. Grace, you gotta ask me for go ahead.
Yeah, because I know you and Ben won't counter react everything I
No,
want.
we're not doing so. We're just check
Okay,
getting
first
you.
of all, I want to congratulate the government for the level of work done so far
Mm.
in constructing a complex for the Justice Ministry. That's a welcoming one. And looking at the fact that we have been calling on the national government to have their personal project, and now they have listened and started to undertake a project. To undertake a project is a good one. It's a good one. But my issue here now is where were McGill when George Brown were in power? Where were McGill? What were McGill doing? Now McGill, oh, we talking about corruption business, right? Yeah?
No, but my girl did not talk about
No,
corruption.
if
No,
there
but
was lapse, no, Ben, please, when you are talking again, you all the time. Even if there is lapses, and McGill supposed to talk about lapses, McGill not qualified to talk anything to anybody for lapses. The lack of Nathaniel McGill, they should be quiet. As an advocate, I call on McGill to keep quiet because he still have questions to answer to the Liberian people. He's still yet to justify the claims from the American embassy against him for corruption. He's still answerable to the Liberian people for corruption. He was those people that the Liberian people were angry because of him. They did not vote President Weah, former President Weah. So McGill, they should keep quiet. He have no right to scrutinize Waka at all.
My girl is a lawmaker.
He's a lawmaker, I know that. But what? Let me honest. You that preach equity should come with clean hand. Is Margaret hair clean?
It's very
my
clear.
hands are clean.
No, babe, you say your part, I'm saying my part. The government is doing her best because it listening to Samira and listening to the lack of Sekou Sheriff talking about doing a project that will leave Waka legacy. If there is lapses in procurement, if there is lapses in funding, it should be different persons. If Ben is talking about it, I don't have problem. Samira is talking about it, I don't have problem because she's corruption free. But Magyar is yet to prove to the Liberian people that he did not steal from Liberia.
How?
I only see the fact that there was allegation from America and they sanctioned him. Then he didn't go back to tell the Liberian people, yes, these things they accused me for is not true.
He did. He even called
I'm
on.
not aware.
He even called on the people
Where is
so
the
that they go into it.
Where's the fact? When let me put that somewhere. There are so many of us that still want to ask the lack of my girl to ask some questions. So they shouldn't be the one questioning the government self. The government should be questioned by Samira Sekou Sheriff. I don't have problem, but my girl, I said no.
Chris, my girl is a lawmaker, and he works for the Liberian people. He's in the Liberian people interest.
We need to investigate the fact that I've been checking the budget now. I'm not seeing anything for construction of a justice ministry. For that, the government should be accounted for to tell us where they're getting the funding from. I agree with you on that. I agree with the fact that there should be a procurement process. There should be someone in charge of that process, and they should follow the PPCC Act. Samira, I agree with that. I agree with the fact that before groundbreaking take over, like Ben said, you should have the project ready to kick off. All of that, I agree. For the lack of Nathaniel Magyar should not be the one raising these qualms because he's not free. That's my point.
My girl did not face any court of law that tried my
In
girl. My
Liberia,
girl
I
has
agree, but he should pay
my girl
himself.
has clearly indicated no, but my girl has cleared his side. It's left when you accuse somebody, you have to prove you have the court of competence jurisdiction. My girl has not
Okay.
been indicted by any court for
In my
any form
mind,
of
in the
corruption.
Liberian people's mind, my girl is a corrupt individual that need to clear his head allegedly until he can do that. America still hold him to sanction because of corruption.
Nobody really care about America. Whole social business. Because they said they can do things. They take session, they put it on somebody. Can't take the session. You can't go into the thing. You won't do it. Then people come
Yeah,
and go
Jeremiah
still
Cohn should be sanctioned. If
When
if
they
if,
find
if that is it, then Jeremiah Cohn should be sanctioned. Yeah, Mama Kabedete should be sanctioned.
if that is proven, she should.
Dealing with Ralston's company, bringing in Bucos Yellow Machine, dealing with this all of Venezuelan criminal Arthur Easy and all this. Let me tell you something. One thing we haven't discussed on the platform. Didn't you see the FBI paying visit to the LNP headquarters few days or weeks ago? You think these are ordinary things? Let me tell you all. Time will continue to vindicate those people who were lied on during President Weah's regime. Let me tell you about America. They have people go to Congress to lobby.
The
People
other
can go
person who
lobby.
for in the watch of we are Regina dynasty, that Koji and John, we are the two people. On the rest, I don't get no proof. I can put my name there for Koji because our Iran, I saw what he did for the Liberian people, and he was well open, always stop talking. For my girl, I know nothing about my girl who I stand by my statement.
All of those
You know,
people were victims of political conspiracy by the Unity Party, who thought that by lobbying against, let me tell you this, the likes of Jefferson Koji, the presumptive senator of Montserrat County, the likes of Senator Nathaniel McGill of Margibi, I will tell you this. McGill has not been tried. In fact, the moment the sanction came out on McGill, what did McGill say? McGill called for a
okay.
full-fledged investigation.
So,
McGill is a decent man, and McGill is a senator exercising his oversight responsibility. That is what McGill doing.
So we were deviate from the conversation with the Mark session. Grace bring in you see Ben, you see how Grace can do the thing. We're talking about this groundbreaking ceremony. Grace
You're
go
not
straight to
supporting what
corruption.
you're not.
Straight to corruption.
Yeah,
Like, what the woman go.
Why should you be
Boom.
talking about somebody who will kiss you when you're here? That's
Because this man is a lawmaker, he's obligated to do the
I'm
like
the one that even voted for himself.
massively. You know that
I'm the one that
You voted for Joseph Baka, who say they squander opportunity for 12 years. You voted for him, then you asking us why the people voted for a decent man like McGill who have impacted life, pay people school fees, get the biggest scholarship as a legislator. McGill are one of the best performing. McGill are one of the best performing ministers in we are administration. Let me tell you how people judge your performance. When you serve, you go back and ask for a seat. The people vote. You know who voted McGill in Margibi County?
Okay, now, fellow Liberians, we have this issue. There are two things that we have talked about, and shortly we're expecting our guests. Let us be able to hear you, what you have to say to these things that we've talked about. The senator of Margibi County, Falo Magio, he's asking important questions about this whole Ministry of Justice thing. And Liberians, let us deviate from that mentality. Let us leave that thinking that when the person do groundbreaking, you should be happy that the person is about to do a project, and then you do not want to ask questions, ask the hard questions. There are protocols, there are certain proceedings that should be followed. They should go through the PPCC. If there's a budget, it should be signed by the legislature. These are things that should be done. Is there a contractor? Is there a design for this? People, the president should not just wake up one morning, we see shovel in his hand, he do the groundbreaking, then we say, oh, the president project is about to begin. No. There should be questions, and how questions were being asked by Nathaniel Falo McGill. And these are things that we're backing. As much as we want to see developments, as much as we want to see the government delivering, we want answers. Tell us. These are things that we should not even be asking for. Like I said, popcorn. Your first lady went to distribute popcorn kits for the festive season. These things, they can be posted on the executive mansion page. The executive mansion page is like a beauty pageant era. Every time they change the picture from Joseph Baka picture to this other person picture. So why is it that you cannot let us know these things that we are to know? Tell the Liberian people. You people did these same things. At the end of the day, you're blown out with the yellow machine thing and the project that you for ya. Because we never knew anything about it. Even the legislature, they did not know that yellow machine are coming to the country and they're supposed to sign a budget for the yellow machine. So if we're still going on this same path, it means that we will not head to anywhere better. So this project about the justice ministry, as much as we acknowledge it, we want to know, how is it that you will do a groundbreaking when there's no budget? How is it that you do a groundbreaking that budget has not yet been signed, but then you do a groundbreaking? How is it? So we do not want to see these things, not just because we want development, but we want for the rightful thing to be done. The right thing should be done. The right thing should always be done. We are a law-abiding country. So everything should be followed with the rightful procedure that it should be followed with. We have people on the lines. You will make your point. So these are the things that we talked about. We also weigh in on this issue that has to do with the lady there who lost her leg in district. That's district number 8, right? District number 8, and the court, the government, and all of that. We played that for you. You listen. Let us be able to take your calls. The numbers to participate are 0773 419502, 0773 419502, 0555 184711. Lone Star and Orange subscribers in Monrovia 0773 978 564, 0773 978 564. Lone Star subscribers 0880 907 907, 0880 907 907. These are the numbers to participate. Good morning.
Good morning, Samira. How you doing?
I'm okay. Let's hear you. Your name and where do you join us from?
And good morning to Comrade Ben and the lady in studio there.
The lady name is Grace.
Oh, Grace, right?
Go ahead.
Samira,
Mm.
you see, every day we yell in Liberia, we want for our country to go far. We want for our country to go far. But you know the embarrassment to this country?
Mm.
Are people like Grace. Grace
Oh, no, we're not. No, there's absolutely no way we will take that.
Okay.
So let me tell you something, right? You can address the issue without being insultive. We will not take it. You can address the issue without insulting a person. We will not take it. I think look at somebody and say the person like, good morning, man. Morning. Let's hear you.
I'm Avi Johnson calling from Tupo Road, the chairperson for the Concerned Librarian for Justice.
Let's hear you, Abby.
You see the country, people should be clear when it's discussing issue. For me, I'm here to attack anybody. Everybody got their side. Grace says she's an advocate. I think she's advocating for the government, but not the Liberian people. And that's the country. That's Liberia for all of us, you know. So the issue here is advocate as the claim. The country is bleeding. She should be there to top of the people. That's the top of
Can you
government.
please speak to the issue? Grace is not the discussion today.
Okay,
The discussion is the thing that the people are about to do.
And even Grace, this country we should be able to say the right thing. Because even every day they come into all to apologize. The president say reduce it from 35 to 35. So we not know what thing he reduced. Because if you reduce from 35 to 35, it means you reduce nothing. Because if the president can be looking at that kind of speech, if the paper is right in front of him, and he really lies to the Liberian people, and he can't even correct himself, and then the minister of justice come out and say, oh, we get a funding. And the president said the finance minister will bring the funding. So then the information minister go back on the radio and say, oh, say sorry. The sorry started with Dara Taylor. It passed over to the president and the minister. So they put you here now, we know what we had you.
Okay. Thank you. Morning.
Good morning, Samira.
Morning. Let's hear you.
This is the voice of the Common Board Chairman, and I'm T.O.P. Willie. I join you from Soul Clinic to Shufo. Samira, the senator did a very, very brilliant job. Let me tell you, Samira, our whole country eating a fly. They were investigated. There is nothing in the body. They sold the phone in Sophie and not their phone. That's what I saw. It. So I'm holding a fly. When I come to some of the issues that Grace was pointing out, look, the burning of food is squarely on the shoulder of the accused. If you accuse me, you must provide your evidence. And in the case of the senator, there is no proof. You are not indicting, you are not taking the end of court. And for your information, this is your government, Grace. I the Americans, for your evidence, the government, I said, this is your government. You know that time they said they want to prosecute or say that my girl.
Okay. Thank you. We have other calls to take. Good morning.
Good morning, Samira. Good morning, James, and good morning, Ben. My name is Lee Back Sandy, and this morning I'm calling for Chicken Basket.
Okay.
Well, Samira, you see, it's three things that let mandate them to be sanctioned. I think the government is fast, or more than that now, because they are everything they are doing is wrong. And so they told the Liberian people, the former president was not doing the right thing, so they do the right thing, but they're always watch up. Because the matter of fact is that you told the Liberian people, President, we are being ruled, we're not talking. Now I go with it. will not be, I mean, President Brown, we all see they were not important for the same project that today is busting with them. So I don't know what the confusion offer.
Okay.
I will say that.
Thank you. Morning.
We need a visually impaired pushing for the return of President Weah.
Let's say, Edmoka, you know that the other day somebody saw me and the person was like, just a Liberian, right? He said that he normally followed the show and, you know, he really want to see Edmond one day because the way Edmond can be vocal, you know, he said a whole lot of good things about you. And then I show you a picture. There's this picture when you people went to meet the former president of the airport. Yeah, that was the day I saw you too, Edmond. I'll show you a picture. I said, but this is Edmond. So I like Edmond. I just thought to share with you though.
Thank you. All praises go to you guys for allowing or put all our potential out there, because normally people don't trust in people living with disabilities. But as long as you guys are allowing us to put all our potential, and we will get there by the grace of God. Look, nobody will not take our attention on the real issue. If anybody feel that McGee is corrupt, quote unquote, he will renegade himself. But yeah, it's an issue though. The Unity Party people are good at propaganda. Everywhere they want to carry it. You know that last week was the worst week ever in the life of the Unity Party government, and they're going to pay for this. So in everything, cover all that misinformation that they created last week, was to jump on delegation, groundbreaking ceremony. To take our attention from the real issue that what they did. Because how can a just a minister go to a groundbreaking ceremony and tell us, say, we already have $20 million approved through the arrest agenda. Then the president takes the stage, he tells us the finance minister will go look for the money. Another assistant minister jump on the radio, the justice minister will go out there looking for the money to bring it home. Start pushing the issue, they come out with press release, oh, no money is there, be approved, no money is there. How do you do groundbreaking ceremony when you don't have money? If even all the money is not available, but at least some of the money should be on hand. That's one. Now look at the procurement processes. How do you take good chunk of our money and just throw it up there to somebody in the name of development who don't know who is doing this project, which is the which construction company did they take to do the project? When did they do the procurement? When did you do the bidding process? Who do you have to do the one? Nothing to take care of. So all you have to say to us is you cannot be bidding or complain for the justice ministry. And that is not fair to the last.
Edmond, the chairman of Team Koji requests to have his number.
Come again?
Please tell Edmond that the chairman of Team Koji, Mr. Richard, have asked for his number.
Edmond, I think you got it. The chairman of Team Koji, Richard, asked for your number. Let me see. Edmond, you got to call again, or you have to call again so that we'll be able to get your number. Yeah, so that it's either you call or you text it, and then I can send it to Ben, and then Ben can send it to Richard, so that she'll be able to have it. But let us take few calls here, Liberians, at 0 right now. Okay, so we will have Councillor Gonglo in studio shortly, but let's take few calls while he is making his way. Yeah, it's going to be 5 minutes late. Let's take few calls so that we'll be able to have a conversation. 0773-978-564, 0880-907-907. Good morning.
Good morning, Camila.
Morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, you know, this morning, you read best. You bet more than us.
That's what another morning. No, but there are certain things that the people can do. It hurts, right? It hurts.
Yeah. No, that one is true.
But let's
the problem here, the name that the people brought in power are what suffering there, and they are not implementing the name. Because when you say rescue, where's our citizen cry? You should run there and give what it means. You see, the job we are doing is government pro. And I can show an example. Every when job we are getting ready to pay that part is at our government area over there. And then you went there, the people are living there, and you cut that around there, and you know the number of people are living there, and then you give them 1 year rented to go. After a few more, you will call them back. And like what he did, he built an apartment on new to them, and then he called them and get it back for money.
It's just that of government you do. But what it did to the people to 72nd, it was not necessary. They start saying I already paid the first people. Yeah, you know the reason the second people went there. The second people even plenty more than the first people. It's because of poverty, because they don't get money. If they will be making good money, they will go late to government area. They will let to pay their own place. They will let to even rent a decent place.
Okay.
For me, let me get an conclusion. For me, what I wanted for the government to do in a place is that at least you gain a 1 year ready. A minister can see $2-3 million. They go free. One president, why you can't take 1 million? I need to even gain a 150. For them to go rent 1 year renting.
Thank you. Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you. Your name and where do you join our conversation from?
I'm Peter K. Bena, calling from Fathersville.
Fathersville. Let's hear you.
Yeah, you are just emphasizing on something my sister Grace. It really touched me because of a lady who was speaking about the language project.
Okay.
I will hear myself you already think because you should know that there's a citizen there. Even you have a mind for your own fellow friend, they say you will see for your neighbor as you see as yourself. So even when you're doing such a thing like that, you have to come to the people, lead down here and come to them, but you don't just kind of break their places down just like that. Yeah. So you're already playing on me too, hitting me.
Okay.
Two.
Hitting your head.
Yeah, two. About the market issue. What they were just saying, the other guys, you talk about Magio Day. Magio know that you are free from that thing. People will know that, yes, Magio is free from here. You come out on show and tell us, yeah, Magio is free. But for now, we know that Magio will not claim from it. So we know that he did that thing. So we don't be bagging Magio all in this for this thing.
Okay.
That's on my mind.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. I think our guest has arrived. We will take him shortly, but just before that, we're not taking any calls. Let us be able to take a break, make few adjustments, and then we'll be back here with our next conversations. Those of you just tuning in, this is Voice of Liberia. It's the program Good Morning Liberia. My name is Samira One Grace Williams, Joshua is here, Ben Believe, Tokpa is also here, and we're having a wonderful conversation this morning. Let's take this break. This one is called Money Balava. Let's take this break and be right back. Yeah, okay.
You left me papa for money. I managed to get you money. Your sister no be there. Your body no be there. Your food no be there. Your tea no be there. I see begin to get you money. That big one you go money, yeah, money, palava. Money, yeah, money, palava. You best friend with all your enemy. You have now with all your enemy. You brother step with all your enemy. Money, yeah, money, palava. Money, yeah, money, palava. Money, money, palava. Money, money, palava. You left mama go spend money. You left papa go spend money. I manage to get you money. Money, palava. Money. Money, palava. Money, palava. You left the mama for spend money. You left the papa for spend money. I manage to get you money. Your sister no be there. Your body no be there. Your fool no be there. Your auntie no be there. As you begin to get you money, that big party will call you. Money, money, palava. Money, palava. You best friend with all your enemy. You have now with all your enemy. You brother step with all your enemy. Money, money, palava. Money, palava.
Okay, I want to say welcome those of you just joining this broadcast. This is Voice of Liberia 104.1, and of course, it is the program Good Morning Liberia. And my name is Samira One. I'm here with Grace Williams Casual. I'm also here with Ben Belief Tokpa. We're making few adjustments as our guests will be on, or will be in. I mean, shortly. There are a few adjustments that we're making. and shortly we will have our guest. But Grace, while we are making these adjustments, trying to put things to the right place, um, there's this thing that was said over the weekend by the labor minister, right? Kopokura. Yeah. And Liberians, it's important that you know that the labor minister said this over the weekend, and it's surrounding the 70,000 jobs that the president mentioned. You know, doing the SONA. And it will interest you to know that the labor minister, Kopo Corrupt Cry, they call him CCK, right? CCK, Kopo Corrupt Cry, CCK for short. Just say CCK because Kopo Cry is one of the corrupt individuals that I've ever seen from the Wias regime to the Buakas regime because he worked in the Wia regime. He was a minister. Yes. That ministry was corrupt. The 6 years. And he's in the Buakas regime. So I bet we're trying to make few adjustments for the guests. We'll get him on shortly. But it's okay that we just say this, right? Copper Corrupt Kura, CCK. Copper Kura said that what the president mentioned is not true about the 70,000 jobs. That is the phrase I'm putting it in. You know what he said, fellow Liberians? Corporal Kura said that the figures is even higher than what the president mentioned. That was what he said. He said that it's higher than what the president mentioned. How can that be possible? How can that be possible? But that's a conversation for another day. That's a whole conversation for another day. As we have, as is it on? You gotta check it if it's on. Is it on? Okay, that's a whole conversation for another day. As we have our guests in studio currently. So, fellow Liberians, we want to say welcome to those of you just joining the platform. This is Voice of Liberia 104.1, and we do broadcast to you from Capital Bypass. My name is Samira One Lie. Of course, Grace Williams Joshua is here. Ben Believe Tokpa is also here. In studio of us, we have Councillor Tiawon Se Gonglo, an assistant professor of law, award-winning human rights lawyer, and Councillor Gonglo also participated within the 2023 presidential election as a candidate for the Liberian People's Party, LPP, normally known as the Broom Party. So we're here this morning to talk about lots of issues. Let us be able to welcome Councillor Gonglo. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. And good thing to see me wearing black. I'm still mourning my fellow colleague from the law school, the late Councillor John Josiah, and also member of the LPP and a founding member of Moja. We buried him on Saturday. I'm late because I was performing another national duty, training Liberian lawyers. I teach 8 o'clock in the morning at the Liberian School of Law from 8 to 9 o'clock on the bypass. That's why I was a little bit late. So I'm happy to be here.
Okay, that is great. Grace, let's hear you out. You.
Okay, I hope I'm saying I could just okay.
I can hear you.
Good morning, Councillor. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very happy to be here.
There's a liberalization policy you've been pushing on recent, so the Liberian people wanted to know about that. So that's where we'll be starting from this morning.
I like that. And I can talk about liberalization policy the whole day and tomorrow.
Okay.
I strongly love my country. And I want my country to be like what it was dreamed of to be. When you read the Declaration of Independence of Liberia, it said, we want to establish a nation that would be like other nations of the world controlled by people with different skin pigmentation. We gained independence in 1847. Today, we are among the 15 poorest countries because we don't emphasize uh, our own, what we can do, our own capacity. Liberia is among the more than 40 countries I've been to, the most naturally endowed in terms of natural resources, the fertility of the soil, rainfall, sunshine, good weather conditions. But we don't emphasize. For example, we used to grow cotton and produce uh, our own cloths here, and clothes people were weaving. We got rid of that. Once the European clothes came, we forgot about that. But yesterday, I picked cotton way deep in the forest in Nimba. I said, oh, but cotton grows here. Why are we importing cotton to use in the hospital and all that? This could save us foreign exchange. So anyway, I see Liberian effort I supported. Also under President Talbot, when I was still a student at University of Liberia, he emphasized Liberianization. He said, let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let us use Liberian things. Then Moja, our leader, Dr. Tibote, pick up. He made us to support the rubber sandals that was being produced by people on Johnson Street and other places. And they were making money. And Liberians were going to it. So I love, if they're not for going to court, I will wear my African clothes every day. Because for our weather is better than me choking myself. I have to wear underwear, wear the shirt, wear tie, and then I wear coat on top. It's not good for this weather. When President Talbot came, he stopped wearing the coat suit. He didn't make law, but he was wearing what they call total informant suit, the swearing suit. Everybody started wearing it. And that's why most of the tailors on Benson Street voted for me to say, if Councillor Gonglo become president, we'll be rich because he just buying our clothes every day. That's all he buys. But we must make our people feel good because you see, purchases is what motivates sellers. Is what motivates producers. I showcased Liberian rice the other day because I say, you know what? If we start producing Liberian millionaires from producing country rice, more people will go into country rice rather than proper farming. So we need to emphasize what we have. That
And-
God, so
And how do you think that that can be done to be able to showcase this, tell to people what kind of method you think can be used in order to prioritize this policy?
So, for example, I think the president of Liberia, I supported in the second round, and so I tell him my policies. I had a 10-point agenda for better Liberia. One of the things was we will use taxpayers' money first on things produced in Liberia before we can buy anything coming from anywhere else. Under President Salif, the Minister of Finance, I think at Amra Kone, he said at time 25% of the budget will be used to buy Liberian things. And my question was, then what is 75% will go to? We need to buy Liberian things. The furniture, everything should come from Liberia. We should only buy things that are not produced here from other people. It will motivate local producers to do more and to even be innovative. Right now, the soap I use in my bathroom is the soap that I bought at the agriculture fair in Ganta a few weeks ago. I reached there, I saw, Liberians are getting innovative. They're using soap made from palm kernel oil, from coconut oil, and from local things. I bought more for the people in my house. That's what we used. In that way, they will be motivated. When I go to the supermarket, I buy the cashew nut made from Liberia. I don't buy foreign cashew nuts. The peanuts, Liberians are they're adding value to these things by packaging them. Why should we let them stay on the shelf?
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Ben, you have a question. You want to come in? Welcome.
Yeah, welcome, Councillor Gonglo. I'd like to say Happy New Year to you. It's good to see you strong. Welcome. Councillor, personally, tell us, what are those national initiatives or programs are you currently undertaking to support Liberianization across Liberia?
So, for example, the president says something that I follow. He said, think Liberia, love Liberia, build Liberia. I walk the talk. I buy every time, every tailor on Benson Street knows me. I go there, I buy their things. Because I'm a public figure, I'm a well-known figure, other people will start following me and buying from them. All right. I was not boasting when I bought the rice from Lufa County. I called him, I saw the thing in the newspaper. I said, this man needs to be encouraged. I called him, I said, Collie, where are you? I want to buy the rice. Do you have any store in Monterey? He said, no, we don't have outlet. He said, but if you buy the rice and you add $2 to a bag, I will bring it for you in Monterey. I did. I bought 5 bags. And he brought it to me in Monterey. I tried to showcase it so that other people can buy. Some people think that when you eat foreign rice, then you are more important. So me, a big lawyer in Liberia, law professor, former minister, and everything, I eating our rice. It will encourage other people to eat it. And I promise him, every month I'll buy some more. This month I'll buy 10 bags. Next month I'll buy another 10 bags. When anybody asks me for bag of rice now, I call it rice, I'll buy. That's a way of promoting that business. And I understand that since I made that video, a lot of people are buying his rice. And he put his telephone number in the comment page. That's what we do.
Okay.
You know, I believe in education. In, I think it was in 2020, even before I became a candidate, I built a library and auditorium way in my hometown, Glaze-Zopie. I used 50 bundles of zinc. I spent not less than $30,000. An auditorium that takes not less than 500 persons, and a library. We still have some work to do there, but again, this is initiative that some people think is NGO. So somebody will take money from their pocket and build a kind of big on government school campus. No. John F. Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
Okay, thank you. We're moving on to the President State of the Nation address.
I knew that's where you're going.
And each person here will ask a question in that segment, and then we move on to the next conversation which has to do with some of the cases that you're handling, and then we move on to your ambition for 2029, all of that. So there's a whole segment here. To those of you tuning in, keep watching and let us all keep sharing the live video. This is Voice of Liberia 104.1. Grace, you want to kick the ball rolling with the sonar?
The last time I appeared, there were 3 women. Now you're other men today.
Yeah.
Yeah, Councillor, there are so many speculations in the public when it comes to President Bouakar's speech in the creation of jobs, 70,000 jobs. Although I take it from the point of view that motorcyclists are employed, keke riders are employed, the vendors, the younger boys. So they're saying that the president captured the whole country for the private and public sector. That was accumulated to this percent he called. While other people say there was a mistake in what he said. So what is your point of view?
You know, economically, everything you do for a living is employment, farming, and all of that. But you have to be clear. Employment in the informal sector, employment in the formal sector. You're dealing with a settled cultural perspective. We know in Liberia, from Cape Mount to Cape Palmas, that when they say the person employ, that means a company has employed you or government has employed you. Let's face the reality and forget about argument. What the jobs that people expect any government to create are the jobs that give them regular payment, whether it's weekly, twice a month, or so, that gives them a predictable income. It's not selling gramping on the market, Willa market. When you start making that argument, you make Liberians so angry. And I think, I participated in writing SONA. When you give figure, you tie yourself up. I was on President Sawyer's team for 4 years, writing SONA. First, they made it so detailed. America, that has more than 50 states, do have the president giving sometimes 45 minutes, one hour. The longest speech was given by President Obama. I think I'm not President Clinton. I think that 1 hour, 27 minutes. You don't go detail. Every ministry is expected to write an annual report. And if you want to know about the details of what each ministry is doing, but if you have a government and you have sectors, health, education, infrastructure, the areas that are consistent with your policies that you want to emphasize, the new thing you want to bring, you talk about them, all right, and say there are improvements in these sectors. You could have said government is trying to create jobs, some progress has been made, but government will do more. Government is not satisfied. Leave it there. You call figures, and then you have to now state which sectors, which areas the jobs were created, the gender, the age group, different things. Now, the government will be explaining for the next 2 years, and the public will not follow the government.
So it's that the figure was not necessary.
It was not necessary. Because you see, and I will get some attack on this, because you say now they are explaining what was not in the president's speech. You know, we meant motorcycle riders, and the motorcycle rider will challenge and say, but even under the administration was stopped from going to places. How come you say that people are motivated and that and to
But do you think that is fact that the 70,000 Liberians they're actually working, like the government actually gave out 70,000 jobs?
I don't have the figures, and I doubt it, because you see.
You doubt it?
I doubt it.
Okay.
I doubt it because, you know, now they're explaining, and if you start explaining the people making their farm and all that, you could even go to 200,000. You could say all of that, but that's not. When they say government is creating jobs, it means you are either creating jobs in the government, or your policies are creating a lot of business people to establish factories and engage in other things that are employing. Here's a government that is not buying. If the government, for example, says our policy of buying from Liberian, thinking Liberia, loving Liberia, and building Liberia, we made in 2025, we said all furniture in government offices should be bought locally. And that created so many jobs in the carpentry industry. We'll understand that.
Okay.
You know.
Ben, come in with a question on this State of the Nation address, please. You're muted. You're muted from your end, Ben.
All right, thank you. Councillor Gonglo, in the SONA, the president mentioned that Liberia is better than what it was a year or two ago. There are key factors, Councillor, and I want you to speak on this. You being a stakeholder in the country, a legal luminary, and someone who supported this regime. 2 years ago, or 1 year ago, Liberia still enjoyed the immigrant visa programs. A year ago to now, the prices of basic commodities have increased, and the total or the overall bread and butter issue of the Liberian people, by opinion polls conducted, listeners calling on radio stations and other public engagements, citizens have continued to complain from one point to another. In fact, the complaints have increased. But the government said, the president said in the SONA that Liberia and the lives of Liberians are better than what it was 1 or 2 years ago. We want you to weigh in on that subject.
You know, a government has to be very careful and measured in his words when he's talking about the common good of the people, because the citizens, the recipients of government's policies, who benefit from government or are hurt by government policies, are the ones who should be speaking about government. As you say, there are more complaints than there are praises about government. So I will ask a question. Has the number of persons going to Ghana to seek health services reduced or increased? Have people stopped going to India? Have Liberians slowed down sending their children to Rwanda, to Uganda, and other countries to get better education? That's the kind of thing that we should be speaking about. Okay, there have been some intervention in the road. I just came from Nimba, and I used the road from Toy Town to New York, and then I passed there to Berale, Zudru, and got on the Tapata Zwedru Road. When I was on that road in 2024, it was really bad. And I came and said, if the government does not intervene on our road, the Southeast will be cut away from Liberia. I must say some improvement has been done there on that road. But then the interior part where the food stuff are coming from, for me to come from to travel from Gray to Toyota was a little bit better because one paramount chief died 2 months ago, paramount chief tour, and there was some intervention on that road. But beyond that, wow, on the motorcycles, there were big trucks. But my pickup was the only one on that road. The road is so bad. And that is the place that has so much planting, a lot of food stuff, and they have cocoa. So they need to get the things on the road. Farm to market roads is still a big challenge throughout the country. And most of the people of Liberia who engage in productive activities live in the interior. So they cannot praise government about road connectivity and improvement. On the main road, some improvement has been done, and there's progress in pavement, gradual progress. The road has almost reached Tapeta and all of that. But I'm saying the government should be a little bit humble and not to claim too much victory, because when you do that, public expectation is high, and when you see the record of performance is low, they give an X to the government. The government should not even be saying, oh, we are better than the last government, because I just came from Nimba, a bag of coal 2 years ago was $400, $450 in Nimba. Yesterday, the average price of bag of coal along the road was $800. In some places, they were selling at $1,200. So
Wow.
the iron coal. But so if you measure the price of rice and the price of other commodities taken together, household income compared to the prices, so you can't just talk about rice and petroleum
Wow.
products alone, because there are other products. You have to look at a whole basket of things that are in that bread basket, and it includes even school fees and other fees. Till today, from the last regime, graduation fees are still there in all the private schools. The schools are still selling uniform and selling them at prices much higher than the street prices of those uniforms. And the government is allowing those things to happen. I've talked about it over and over. President Bunker, you can issue one executive order and get rid of graduation fees, because he and myself didn't pay graduation fees at any level. You cannot let schools they are not stores to be selling the uniforms. Let the people buy the uniforms in the market. The Liberian tailors will make the money. But I'm told by parents that uniform that would be maybe $500 somewhere is probably sold at $1,500 or more in the schools. That is creating too much hardship for parents. And schools, in some places, some school fees are lower than the graduation fee.
Mhm.
And on graduation day, they don't even give a sack of water to the students or the parents. What is that money for?
Even the University of Liberia.
Even the University of Liberia, where I teach, it is not, and that's a government school.
Mhm.
Now, people are reading on the internet. Students in Liberia are reading, in Guinea, the University of Conakry, the students there get stipend from government. In Botswana, that's my model country for Africa. Botswana, health services there, free, education, free, and they give stipend. One time I was on OKFM, I was talking about stipend in Botswana, and I said that the country I want to measure Liberia with, I want Liberia to be like that country. Because
Do you think that is possible?
it is possible with good leadership.
With good leadership.
With good leadership. Because a good leader emerged in Botswana at independence. Sarisi Kama, honest, humble, and we're not having long convoys, spending all our money, because part of our money are going on long convoys, with 2 presidential vehicles. The same thing-
bulletproof car.
Bulletproof. It happened in the last regime. It's happening similarity. There are too many things that have happened. I'm not saying nothing good has happened. There has been some progress, but it's small, it's marginal compared to the expectation. Vice President Convoy 15, President Convoy 25. The last time I checked was 27. And they have 2 presidential expensive vehicles in a convoy. And I'm saying this is either ignorance, because no civilian has ever killed or threatened to kill any president in Liberia. And so when you have 2 cars in a convoy that the president may be in, and the civilians don't know, but the people who have killed president before are in our convoy are security people. So they know which car the president in. So why don't carry 2 or 3 cars? President Tubman used to carry 3 cars. Nobody in Africa or anywhere in the world has threatened the life of vice president. So why is the vice president having 205 in the convoy? Nobody. When the president is gone, vice president is gone. So it's a waste of money. And I think the president should move in a marshal. No president are moving if President Barker moves the marshal, imagine the fuel cost. There will be a big cost in the fuel that is purchased for the president, because you'll be in a marshal, his place of work, his residence, and once in a while he will go out to dedicate or to do groundbreaking. So there will be a huge cost, and then you can use it to build schools, to improve the health system. We used to have on the top of 5-year-old no medical fee at JFK, pregnant women no medical fee. That has not changed. It stayed that. So the significant change that people expect has not happened.
So in short, Council, you're trying to say that Liberia have the ability to do these things to help the people, but the life cost of some of these political figures is expensive. So they will not be able to do what they are to do. Rather, the money will be spent on the vehicles, on all of these luxury things. And at the end of the day, these are the money that the Liberian people are supposed to use to elevate them from poverty.
The Liberian people will be dancing for a president. I have said, I will carry no more than 5 cars in my convoy as president. I will ride economy class as president. As long as Liberia stays down this way, I will carry few people in the delegation, because when you travel to other countries, your security is nothing that the security in our country can protect you. So what are you carrying large delegation for? It's a waste of our money. First class and all of that.
Okay, thank you. Let us move on to this issue, and the same will follow. Other will ask questions just like that. Now, it's about this Bryant McGill case. What is your position on the Bryant McGill case, and what implications do you believe it has for freedom of expression, rule of law, and democracy in our country?
When you talk about rule of law, that's one area where the government has been challenged.
Okay.
Because the error is about rule of law, right? In that arrest agenda. The last government, the government before the last one, the Unity Party government, created 10 new positions so that those who hold those positions can have independence in decision making. They cannot be affected by politics. Under the last government, there were attempts, in fact, 10 new position holders were removed. The Supreme Court said, no, you can't do that. Under this government, 10 new people holding 10 new positions, LTA, Governors Commission, other places were removed. They went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, we told the government of Liberia the last time, you can't do this. The people won their case against government again. And look at the current, the man who was at NHIL, Dr. Dubanya, Kim is a celebrated scientist, celebrated around the world. He came to help his country. Very professional. But people want him to leave the professionalism and be doing the Liberian way. And he said, no. They remove him without following the law. We appeared before the Supreme Court. Government lawyers had nothing to say, to the extent that,
So the rule of law is not being respected.
The rule of law is not being respected. Now we come to Bryant McGill. I have been Solicitor General. I have taught at the police academy, including senior police officer. Even the former police director, Patrice Sudu, was in my class. I taught evidence at the police academy. I taught legal framework for policing. But in Bryant McGill, and then I teach criminal law criminal procedure law at the 2 law schools in Liberia. Even this week, I'll be training prosecutors in Buchanan. Then, in Brian Magui's case, the police say no probable cause. Way back in 1898, in the case Como versus Republic of Liberia, a 14-year-old girl, there's something wrong with Liberian men and underage girls. 14-year-old girl in 1898 was raped by Coleman. Then, when they wanted to call Coleman defense, there were no eyewitnesses who were there. I didn't do it. So,
supposed to be there?
So the Supreme Court came on a clear standard for rape cases. Say the allegation of the victim, the scratches on the victim's skin, the torn dress are the corroborating evidence that you need, nothing more. Till today, the 14-year-old young girl has accused Brian McGill, nobody else. She says it without even choking or clearing her throat. Everybody should talk to the police that Brian McGill, that Uncle Brian McGill, because she was helping her aunt in a canteen and knew everybody that was there. She keeps saying it. And I think police has victimized her the second time, because when you say something and there's no justice for you, the second victimization is to say she's a liar. That stigmatizes her. So I faced the police. I say, probable cause means something happened and it looked at that. He did it. And in all cases, whether from West Point, Logantown, anywhere in this country where the allegation of rape appear, by the time you see the person, he's handcuffed.
Yes.
Immediately handcuffed and sent to jail. It has happened in almost every case except this one. You are setting a wrong standard. Because defense counsel will go to court and say, was there DNA? Was there telephone analysis? Was there CCTV? I said we have all these things all over the country. This Brian McGill standard you are setting will give the police hard time and may cause people to resist the police in poor communities when police go to arrest. But why are you handcuffing this person when you haven't done CCTV, telephone analysis, and DNA? That's the other thing about Liberia. How can we boast about improvement when for me, it is so shameful for the police to say, we send a specimen to Rwanda. They fought war too. We depend on Rwanda. They fought war just like us. In fact, more people die in our country. We haven't improved our country. Rwanda has improved its country so much, the leadership there, to the extent that Liberia has to send way to Rwanda to get DNA test. And this is shameful.
Okay, Grace, come in quickly.
Councillor Gonglo, if you were president and today this Brian McGill case happened, what would you have done differently?
Oh, first thing, they will not even try, because they know President Gonglo, a prosecutor who was the first and the only one in history who prosecuted a former head of state, a sitting speaker, senators, and all of that, that they will say, this man. That's why in government, nobody brought corruption proposition to me, because they judge themselves before coming. It would not have happened. Brian McGill will have immediately been in jail, or somebody will have been fired.
Okay, Ben, come in on this Brian McGill case, and then we move on quickly. Ben, you're muted. You are muted.
Thank you. Well, Councillor Gonglo, what does the silence of the president, Joseph Yuma Boakai, what does his silence say on the Brian McGill issue? A high-profile rape situation from a former official of his government. As per the record, Brian McGill was in the position when the rape issue came out, and nothing has been said by the president of the country about rape allegedly done by the deputy minister of youth and sports. Silence till now. Boakai has been around governance for a while, and Boakai is cognizant of the fact that the Liberian law says when someone is accused of rape, that person should be, first of all, handcuffed, taken to jail while the process is going on. He has said nothing. So what does the silence of the president of the country say?
You see, to his credit, I must say he did the right thing in the beginning. As soon as that allegation was made, he removed him for engaging in misconduct. That kind of thing should not even come around as government official, and turn it over to the police to do a full investigation. The police has been a disappointment, but I know that before he was vice president of the government where we investigated police chief, and we recommended on our committee co-chair that the police chief should be dismissed for police brutality, and he said our recommendation was too harsh. I remember the G.W. Gibson case where I was the chair of the investigation. I left government. We recommended dismissal of the deputy director of police for operation, suspension of the police chief. And again, the president said the recommendation was harsh. I think, somehow the leadership that he's part of, that he's now leading, does not like tough, decisions that will send a clear signal. They like soft landing. Okay, the mayor is a united by the mayor, official government will not fire the mayor. All right. No, it's not okay. The victim needs justice, and the Liberian women need protection, especially young people. They need protection from powerful people in society. And I think thus far, this government action has not given security to a lot of ladies and young people that they are fully protected, because this decision of the police creates fear. And unlike Rwanda, where you walk around 2 o'clock in the morning, I've been to Rwanda twice, and no wonder the tourists are going to that country. Rwanda and Botswana are my 2 countries in terms of progressive development. Can you imagine Botswana gaining independence 119 years after Liberia independence? More than half of the country, 70% is all desert sand. Only 30% is there for green food, and they export meat from Rwanda from the 30%. And today, from their diamond, they don't send raw diamond, they export polished diamond. Today, Rwanda is a middle-income country. Liberia is among the 15 poorest countries of the world because of poor leadership, selfish leadership. They care for themselves. I say the leaders we have in Liberia, the people unlike Jesus Christ who took 2 loaves of bread, and there's nothing in the Bible that Jesus ate some and fed over 5,000 people. The Liberian leaders there to eat, their stomach dry, their children eat, their stomach full, their grandchildren, then they keep some for the great-grandchildren. If something will remain before they give it to the Liberian people. Because of that, we create angry people who will protest every day, government after government, until you have selfless leadership in power, because a hungry man is an angry man. And when you create so many hungry people, you create so many angry people, and they will get in the street and protest all the time. And when you come with false information about their lives and they don't feel it, they get angry even more. You don't hear about protest in Botswana.
Okay, Grace, we're going around with the last question, and that will be open questions. Grace will ask Ben, and then we go to the full lines to interact with Liberians as we're drawing to our closing point of this show. So go ahead.
Yeah, Councillor Gonglo, will there be any expectation for 2029? If yes, are you planning to collaborate with any political party?
I don't. There are 2 questions you asked, and I like to stick with the one and keep silent on the other one. And
the last time you were here, you kept silent.
I will run. No, the one I will not keep silent on is I will run 2029.
Okay.
Everything I'm doing, I'm going all over. People are getting the message now. When I was in New York over the weekend, everybody was saying, you know what? These are the people to be elected. We hear them clearly about what they want to do. And this man is tested. He was Solicitor General. He was Minister of Labor. Nobody said he ever took money under the table. And everything he did was right, protecting Liberian jobs as Minister of Labor, all of that. Why do we follow our stomach, eat and drink on election day and vote wrongly and suffer for 6 years? So I am very pleased by Liberian changing. When they see the broom now, everybody wants to take picture with the broom man. That is the message that is resonating, is getting attractive, is going all around the world. I saw an Ivorian the other day in one office. And he said, I want to take picture with you. I'll follow you for Abidjan. Now I've seen the broom, man. It's a message that's going across Africa. And this broom will soon become a continental broom coming out of Liberia when I become president in 2030.
Okay, Ben, you want to go ahead with your open question, and afterwards, I do so. We go to the lines.
Well,
Are
Councillor
you there,
Gonglo,
Ben?
yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Councillor Gonglo, the NIMOD is a democracy organization. It's headed by Mr. Eddie Jawolo. NIMOD conducted something called the President Meter, and NIMOD said out of 300 plus government projects, the Waka regime was only able to acquire like 3 projects, and NIMOD indicated that with the current pace of work, if UP should be able to achieve, UP should be able to perform 20 times more of anything that they're doing in the country. If that is not done, they won't be able to achieve their arrest agenda. And the IMF have advised that the $8.4 billion envelope for the IMF is unrealistic. And with all of those things coming in, what do you have to weigh in on that? What's the prospect for them?
You know, let me say this. People have to stop playing with figures, growth rate, employment rate, and all of that. The people of Liberia must feel governance, and they should be talking about how happy they are. And once you and the citizens start arguing about their welfare, just know you have failed. You see, a group of researchers came from America in the 60s. Their conclusion was that Liberia growth rate was even higher than Japan. They wrote a book. The editor of that book is called Robert Clower. He said Liberia is a country with growth without development. What is growth? And let me explain as someone who has knowledge in economics. If last year the total number of wagons of train of iron ore that were leaving Liberia were 200, and say China Union was not producing, and this year there are 400 wagons going, it will show growth in terms of the money that will be generated. But is that going to health, education? And talk about education. How can this government be talking about education, or even the past government, or we're talking about the current government? Since 1968, when Tubman opened the MCSS system, the government of Liberia has not built one high school in Monrovia, but the government of Liberia on Tubman opened Charlotte Tubman Memorial. That was a high school that was being operated in rented building. The Dole government turned it to Monrovia Central High. The last building was operating was the Connex building down Busse Quarters. That school exists on record. Why the government of Liberia, and I'm appealing to President Bouaka now, that big building opposite the fire service that was meant for housing bank, since we don't have housing bank, that huge building should be used for schools so that the poor people children can go to high school there, because the only high schools operated in Monrovia are missionary schools by Methodist, the Episcopalian, the SDA, and the Catholic school with St. Teresa's Convent and Cathedral. But there's no government school for the poor children to go to. That type of failure of the poor people is something that we can celebrate and be saying, oh, we have improved in education. We are rehabilitating some schools around the country. But we're talking about Monrovia, Central Monrovia, that has the highest population density. What is the government doing there for education? Zero. They made in elementary school here, G.W. Gibson was open as an elementary school for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. I was here in 1968. I know that. Newport Street School was open as a junior high school. Then the only high school was the one in Sincon, not even Central Monrovia, Top Maha. Government has not built a game changer that people will celebrate is for the government to open a high school in Central Monrovia. That's something different.
Okay, thank you, Council. I would want for you to, clarify on this issue. There is this news that we had that you refused the Justice Minister position in this government. I want you to clarify that information and state reasons why.
Okay, so here I'll explain the whole circumstances. The election was over. have gone to see the president and the vice president, elect, and along with my running mate for two things. One, to give him political advice and to ask him for help, because when we ran our campaign, nobody got wounded. The 2 weeks we took to run campaign for United Party, we had over 26 persons wounded, some poor legs broken, and 4 persons died. One of them in Monrovia and the other 3 on the way to Nimba. And we're facing this thing about burial expenses, and we didn't have money. So I want to talk to him to help me give some money to the wounded people for their treatment, and then to help the other families to bury their children. And he said it was good. I said, but I have a second reason for coming here. I want to advise you, Mr. President, don't appoint anybody who has been minister in Liberia before. Let Liberian people see a breath of new air in your cabinet. Some people were deputy ministers under President Salif and even under President Weah, who did well, very well. Elevate them. It will motivate people who are deputy minister to work harder to become minister tomorrow. So do that. Don't bring any old minister. As soon as I finish, you turn to me and say, but I want to make him my minister of justice. I said, I didn't exclude myself. I've been minister of labor before.
Okay.
What I prefer, I'm a selfless character. That's what I've been in my life. I said, what I prefer is this young man has a PhD in environmental science. Nobody knows him. I never worked in government. I prefer him getting head of an agency in this government. I mean, please appoint him EPA director. He said, I will do it. When you support any party when they get to power, that one position you have there, like the Minister of Post and Telecommunication, right? Came from ACO. The Minister of Foreign Affairs came from the African League. So my own one position, I prefer my running mate to have it. I'm very proud of my decision. We have to be selfless. And when you say so, you must demonstrate it. Yeah, so that's what I did. And EPA has become one of the shining stars in this government. And it's shown by the fact that so many people are traveling for EPA. It goes all over the world. People want to hear the message because Liberia is one of the 3 areas that are in the world that are having big forests. For us, the Gulf of Guinea, Congo Basin, and then in Latin America, Brazil, the Amazon. So the way he has raised it to the world and is doing so well.
Okay.
And I'm happy of being selfless and rather giving a position than me. I could not go against my own advice when I say, Mr. President, don't bring new ministers. Some people can do it, but I can't do it. I don't like
Okay. Thank you. Let us be able to interact with Liberians. Those of you just joining, you have listened to the voice of Councillor Tiaong Gonglo, and we've talked a whole lot. It's your time to be able to make your points here on the broadcast, and the numbers are 0773 419502, 0773 419502. Lone Star subscribers 0555 184711, 0555 184711. 0773 978 564, 0773 978 564, 0880 907 907, 0880 907 907. These are the numbers to participate. We talked to just a few persons because we're already out of time. Good morning. Morning.
Yes, Joseph didn't get calling from Jersey Road or at a tea shop, right adjacent or Dreams School System.
Let's hear you quickly.
What councilor used to come.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the councilor was on point because young people are not protected in the country because they are not giving opportunity. For example, job opportunity. You get me?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so the government needs to work hard to create more job opportunities for the youth, so that the youth can work to be able to send themselves to school.
Thank you. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Let's hear you quickly, my brother.
Okay. My name is Dan,
Morning. Morning.
and it's the philosophy of the press. And thank you for the work that you did. Now, I got two major questions. One has to do with rule of law. The issue of the president siding with the majority group when it comes to the rulings of the Supreme Court. Why you think that damage has done to the rule of law? One. Then two, we are hearing that the president is contemplating appointing a daughter of a cabinet minister. For you, in case it's prudent for us to have two relatives, father and daughter.
Okay, thank you. Your question is being understood. Father and daughter working within the government. Good morning.
Good morning, Samara. This is Edmond Carr, and I remain the visually impaired that pushing for the return of President Riley. Mr. Kulos too. Anyway, did you get my number now?
Yes, I got your number, and I'll send it to him.
Okay. So let me say kudos to Councillor Gonglo, you know, and I want to support her because I am a tradition. But because of his pain on national issue, we have following kinds to our number. Every government that comes to power, he remain on the debate, sustaining the debate. And that is kudos. The other way you can call nationalistic or patriotic point of view. But let me comment quickly on the nationalization that he talked about, liberalization that he talked about. It's very, very important. Because you know what it means for President Williams? He said propose to. Everybody started jumping on propose to up to president. You know what I mean today for President Barack to just say, I mean, one time in a way, every minister should wear country cloth. You know what happened in the country? The economic return is there. Then what it does, they're going to be connecting us to something. Because what do we have here, Samara? What can we both of? Culturally, because it works in our pronunciation, it works in collaboration with your culture. So what do you have here? We tell the people English that we chatting inside every day. We tell the people dress code, like you are saying. So we need to do something so that at least we can be able to betray our own country. Thank you.
Thank you. We still have calls coming in, but definitely we will have to go. The show time is 10 o'clock. And next time, those of you who did not get the chance to place in your calls, we will, allot a lot of time for you. We will not carry the discussion, so that you'll be able to talk. But there are still people from our Facebook page who are asking questions. And this person said, we're listening to you, our president. Always good to learn from people like you. That's I won't say Gonglo. Then somebody, old Pa S down. He talked about, he said that you should please talk about the health department and also about the employment within the health sector. That's why Opa S down says, Kawie said, Gonglo prescription for Liberia is sound. I hope our people can start to look his way. And then GT took wardrobe. The third, he said, I like to listen to Mr. Gonglo, but can we trust him? That's a question he asked. So let's hear you. I think two persons asked it.
I think let's go to the trust part. Okay. Trust is based on track record. I was Minister of Labor. I was Solicitor General. I transformed the prosecution for the first time in the history of Liberia that only law school graduates became county attorney, and the government has built on it. The prosecution department is vibrant now. I created the SGB division. It happened under my watch. So, and as president of the bar, I removed all non-lawyers from the practice of law. It happened for a long time, but when I brought the licensing system, that you have to be a lawyer to be licensed and pay all your dues, it has brought money to the bar. The bar is now independent and more professional than before. So I have a lot of track. Why am I member of the lifetime member of the board of the governing board of the African Bar? It's not just by chance, it's by my record. I'm the only Liberian who have been named by the Human Rights Watch as a leading human rights lawyer. That's way back 2003. All of these things are not by chance. I'm a former Harvard W.B. Du Bois Fellow, former human rights fellow at the Kennedy School. They're not by accident. Give me a chance to achieve this state to stand, and I will transform Liberia, because that's my life. I make definite statements that if I'm president, I will ride economy class. I will not carry more than 5-car comfort. I will live in the executive mansion. I saw President Tupper carrying 3 car convoy. His vice president only 1 car. Why is it today when Liberia needs money and need to do a lot, people are living extravagant life? It's against the Liberian people, and our life they're living will make Liberian people angry with them every day.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And let me say, I will come out. I'm closing my lecture next week at
Okay.
the Liberian School of Law. I'll close at 3 autograms. When I get to marking the paper, I'm yours.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. It was a nice conversation. We hope to get him on again so that we'll be able to talk about more things, so that we'll be able to answer more of your calls. Ben, we're closing. Grace, we're closing. Do you people have anything to say as we call it a day?
You asked me, we political party are from, and half our ideology are followed, and Congo is one of them.
How can you say you were
ideology? I'm from Soup. He's a soupist.
Oh, okay.
Theology. He's a soupist.
Oh, let's hear you, Ben. Let's hear you. Then we wrap up. We do not have much time.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think we had a very great show as usual, and thanks to the counselor for weighing his opinion. One thing I respect him for is, regardless of his record in the 2023 elections, he one person who have always criticized the Black Akun regime for her failures. Realistic criticism, he's done that. And so I say thank you for that stance, Councillor Gonglo. And I want to say kudos to all of our listeners. It is our duty and responsibility to be here as true patriots to analyze the national happiness in the country. And one thing I can say here is, as we close, Liberia will get better and Liberia will get great again. Let's keep hopeful. And
Okay,
President
thank
Weah
you
will bring
so
it home.
much. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Ben. This is how we come to an end of our Monday edition of the show Good Morning Liberia. My name is Samira One Lie. Do have yourself a pleasant day and continue the week as beautiful as it has started. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow morning.